What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 16 Centigrams Chapter 262 The God of War with all negative records. Fighting World. With his powerful strength, Li Xuan forcibly pulled out the sealed demon fire space hidden in the turbulent void, then opened it with one finger, walked in and directly suppressed and swallowed the sealed Jinglian demon fire. After obtaining the inheritance of the ancient Emperor Tuo Shi, Li Xuan also obtained the practice of fusion of different fires. He is going to collect all the different fire species in this world to satisfy his hobby. A figure with white flames wrapped around his body appeared, officially Xiao Chen, who was in the same era as Xiao Zhan. He was controlled by the Jinglian demon fire, and he has been his puppet all these years. In the chat group, looking at Xiao Chen, who was crying after chatting with Xiao Zhan, Uchiha Shisui couldn't help but ask, "What's wrong with this Xiao Chen? His appearance seems to be controlled by illusion." Li Xuan. That's the ability of Jinglian Yahuo. You can use illusion to control others. Jinglian Yahuo and Wu Swallowing Flame are among the best primitive fires in the world of Doqi, and their abilities are much stronger than other strange fires. Xiao Zhan. The primordial fire. Indeed, the fire of the ancient Emperor Tuosh came from a fusion. If we really want to talk about the ranking, Wu Yanyan is the #1 fire and Pure Lotus in the 530 ranking. The demon fire is the second-ranked strange fire. Li Xuan. Seriously speaking, both the Pure Lotus Demon Fire and the Void Swallowing Flame have more than 2 abilities. In addition to the Flame ability, the Pure Lotus Demon Fire also has Purification and Illusion. The Void Swallowing Flame has the ability to fire in addition to the Flame ability, and Concealment and Devouring. Whitebeard. From a fusion of 2 Devil Fruit abilities, to a fusion of 3 Devil Fruit abilities? To be precise, it has 3 characteristics similar to Devil Fruit abilities. Shiki the Golden Lion. You don't need too many abilities, just one kind is enough. The flame characteristics of the Pure Lotus Demon Fire and the Void Swallowing Flame are not comparable to the abilities of Mara Fruit at all, and it can even be said to be worlds apart. Sword God Ryoma. Indeed, just looking at the white flames in this space makes me tremble. I feel that if I enter it, it will turn to ashes in an instant, which is not an order of magnitude strength at all. Li Xuan. How are you thinking? Xiao Chen's current strength should be between 4-star and 5-star fighting saints. Those of the Xiao family can't even reach his legs, and it is almost impossible to reach his height. Maybe, are you sure you want to train him? Xiao Zhan. What a pity, if he hadn't wasted too much time in the demon fire space, his current strength would definitely have reached a 6-star or even a 7-star fighting saint. Li Xuan. So exaggerated. Xiao Zhan. He came to conquer the Jinglian demon fire because he was extremely confident in his talent and strength. Li Xuan. It's a pity to be too conceited, right? It doesn't matter. Didn't you store a lot of the bloodline power of the Xiao clan in the Celestial Tomb? You just used it to supplement him and strengthen his talent. Back then, you gathered the power of the Manchu clan. The power of blood is all in one. Although he failed to advance to Do Di, it is enough to show that this method can improve strength and potential. Xiao Zhan. That's a good idea. Xiao Chen's bloodline power is already at the top level. If he gets those bloodline powers, he will definitely make his talent potential even further. Of course, it's not a good idea to improve his strength. Li Xuan. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't work, I'll make him a few 9th grade golden elixir. Without the source of the Emperor's Qi, no Emperor's elixir can be made. But the 9th grade elixir, which is second only to the Emperor's elixir, is still the best. No problem. Xiao Zhan breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. In that case, I'll take Xiao Chen and leave first. The Tomb of the Sky is in the ancient clan space, and I'm going to say hello to Ji Yuan. Li Xuan. If you have any questions, you can call Zhukan. The 2 top fighting saints will go out. I believe the ancients will be sensible. Thomas Wayne. Master, I have a situation here. Li Xuan. What happened to Batman? Thomas Wayne. It's not Batman's problem. It seems that there is a problem with the Olympians. Wonder Woman sent someone to say that Ares, the god of war, seems to have some opinions on the Earth, and is likely to come to Earth to do things in the near future. Li Xuan pondered. Ares? Leave him alone. This unlucky guy will be robbed of the god of war position by Wonder Woman. Uranus asked curiously. Who is Ares, the god of war? I died a little early, and I have no impression of this god. Li Xuan. Ares, the god of war, is the son of your grandson Zeus, born to his wife Hera. He is arrogant and domineering, irritable, and likes to argue and fight. He is the god of war who represents the war of aggression. Miyano Atsushi. I know. The image of this god of war in myths and legends is very bad. If he appears, there will be no good thing. There will definitely be bloodshed and war. Howard Stark laughed and said, not only that, there are also a lot of peach news about him. It is said that he has an affair with his sister-in-law Aphrodite, and this Aphrodite Uranus, you know she is. How did it appear? Your consciousness should not have disappeared at that time. Uranus. Li Xuan said very simply, after you were caught, something fell into the sea, and in the floating foam, Aphrodite, a symbol of love and beauty, was born. Uranus. How the hell did those bastards compose me after I was dead? Uranus is a little sad. History is really a little girl who can be dressed up, and only the master of power has the right to interpret it. Uranus said indignantly. I gave Zeus such a big gift, and he did this, it's too much. Li Zan said indifferently. It's just that you misunderstood Zeus. Zeus is not that kind of person. Maybe in Zeus' eyes, these rumors about you are nothing at all. Howard Stark. Yes. Zeus is very fraternity, and he is interested in all beautiful women. No, all beautiful people. No, and all beautiful creatures. Uranus. After being speechless for a moment, Uranus suddenly said, I understand, I and Cronus both have the strength to fight against Gaia, but Zeus does not have this power even if he inherits my authority in the sky. Li Zan said speechlessly. You mean, without the fun game of power grabbing, Zeus can only use such low-level means to have fun? Thomas Wayne. Not necessarily. In the mythology I know, Zeus and his two brothers had a fierce power struggle. Not only that, but he also had a fierce conflict with the older titans. Uranus. After inheriting my divine power in the sky, as long as Zeus doesn't kill Gaia and fight against him, no one else will be his opponent. Howard Tucker said speechlessly. Even if you say that, you can't explain Zeus's superb love history. Saying that his fraternity underestimates him, he is simply you in myths and legends. Mutant Black Emperor. Although Uranus in myths and legends is full of desires, he is still more single-minded. Zeus is different, men and women, birds and beasts are not spared. In particular, he likes beautiful women in the mortal world. He is unmarried. Marriage doesn't matter. Uranus pondered. Except for me and Kronos, the two brutal guys who like power, the rest of our family seem to be very enthusiastic. It is not surprising that Zeus would be like this. There are not many pure people in this family. Li Zan. That's right. The goddess of purity in your family is no more than 5 fingers. Didn't I say it before? The desire of the Olympians is stronger than that of mortals. Doflamingo. Foo, if you say that, Ares, the god of war, is nothing at all. Thomas Wayne. Almost forgot, we're talking about Ares? Li Zan. There's nothing to say. God of war. A god of war, who has been defeated and lost, what is there to worry about? Being beaten by this and that all day, thanks to his thick skin. Has long since resigned from the position of god of war. Wait, Wonder Woman will soon be able to get the position of god of war. Tohsaka Tokiomi wondered. He is so humble, how could his sister-in-law like him? Howard Stark laughed and said, I know this, because his sister-in-law, Eros, has a rambunctious temperament and has almost all the male gods. Ellie 3.7 Sphere was surprised. Is this too exaggerated? Shameless? Li Zan. You don't understand this, right? Eros is not to love others, but to make others fall in love with her. If you look at Eros as a man, you will discover her essence. Howard Stark said speechlessly. If the sex of the god of love and her concubine were swapped, then she is really good enough. This is no longer a problem of red flags and bunting. This is the story of the harem opening all over Olympus. What? Li Zan. Really? Get out of the shackles of gender and don't constrain yourself with preconceived notions. The Olympians don't have the traditional concepts of humans. The god of love is the playboy of the Olympians, so it's okay to say that. But most humans can't accept it. The mutant Black Emperor smiled and said, in the eyes of most people, the god of love is a poor woman who is forced and helpless, and is flattered by the persecution of the Olympians. However, the reality is that the god of love is a romantic flower. Young man, happily flipping cards and collecting stamps in the Olympus Protoss. Li Zan. I'll give you a shot in advance and don't make a joke. To be honest, I'm not interested in them at all. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 263 The Zeus of Long Aeotian Destiny, Howard Stark said with a smile. Really? I'm quite interested in Zeus. I checked Zeus's information carefully and found that this guy's position as the king of gods basically depends on sleeping. Atsushi Miyano said curiously. Is it so exciting? I'll check it out too. Uranus said speechlessly. If you want to say that, it's actually not wrong. Zeus, the third-generation god king, is actually very average, completely different from me and Kronos, who are sitting on the position of god king by strength. The mutant Black Emperor smiled and said, I also found some news about him, which is really interesting. Zeus's father is the second-generation god king Kronos, who belongs to the 12 Titans. It can be said that the 12 Titans are his basics. Plate. Uranus. The 12 Titans are my children, and Kronos is one of them, and the youngest among them. When Zeus wanted to replace Kronos, they all helped Kronos from the beginning. Norts. Irisfield said speechlessly. It's not really like what the old rogue Howard said. Zeus used sleep to become the god king of the third generation, right? Uranus said speechlessly. Well, it's not very appropriate to say that. Zeus's luck is very good. And his popularity is also very good, not only for the goddess. Li Zan said with emotion. Yeah. This guy is literally the son of destiny in Greek mythology, the prototype of Xiaobai English dragon Aeotian. Lu Xing was stunned and said, Long Aeotian? I know this, is Zeus so obsessed 15? Li Zan laughed. What do you think? Among the 12 Titans, Two goddesses were attracted to him and became part of his harem. There were also two couples of 4 titans whose daughters were also attracted by Zeus. Hooked up, and then switched jobs to help Zeus. Howard Stark said sadly. What kind of bad luck is this? It's just unreasonable. Uranus Hat said. Who said no? The strength of the 12 titans is not weaker than Zeus. I really don't know how my 2 daughters were attracted by Zeus, and they were willing to coexist peacefully and help him. Thomas Wayne said speechlessly. And your 2 granddaughters, their brain circuits are also very clear, they are willing to serve one husband to support Zeus, and they also convinced their parents, this is simply unreasonable. Li Zan said with emotion. How else would you say he is Long Aocean? Conquering the world through sisters is Long Aocean's specialty. The sisters do not fight or fight, coexist peacefully, and do their best to help him. This is the genius of Long Aocean, treatment. Li Zan. There are also the 2 couples of the Titan gods, because of their daughter's marriage. No, they can't say marriage. They even betrayed Cronus to support Zeus because of their daughter's love for Zeus. Dongfang Gaiyu. It's really unreasonable, shouldn't they discipline their daughter at this time? Seeing their daughter serving a man with other women, they just don't stop it, they even choose to support it. Uranus. Maybe it's because of Gaia's support? After all, the battle between Zeus and Cronus is essentially a power struggle between Cronus and Gaia. Maybe those Titan gods chose to stand in support of Gaia. Li Zan. At that time, the 3 Zeus brothers had not yet established who would be the king of gods, right? They didn't need to bet on Zeus. What's more, even if they wanted to stand in line, they shouldn't use such weird reasons. Han Fei. Long Aocean cow approval. 'Tis me. Long Ao Tien cow approval. Senju Hashirama. Dragon Proud Bull. Golden Lion Shiki. Long Ao Tien Niu approval. Howard Stark. Dragon Proud. Cosmic Overlord Boros. Dragon Proud. Li Zan. To be honest, I envy people with this kind of destiny. But since Zeus became the king of gods, his destiny has almost disappeared. Howard Stark. Long Gao Tianming disappeared? Indeed. Since he made Hera the queen, his harmonious harem has gone forever. Miyano Atsushi. Hera. That woman is notoriously jealous, and she caused a lot of misfortune to Zeus's lovers. The Mutant Black Emperor. I really don't know what Zeus thinks, let that kind of woman be the queen of the day. Would a person who is proud of his destiny do such a thing? Li Zan. Who knows? Maybe this is his true level, chose an inappropriate diva and let his harmonious crystal palace be gone forever. Uranus. Hera. That's also the daughter of Cronus. The master holds the divine right of marriage. Those who have the divine right of marriage can share the power possessed by the other half. Perhaps this is the reason why Zeus chose her the queen of the day. Mutant Black Emperor. The theocracy of the god of war can be transferred to others, but can't the theocracy of marriage? After all, Zeus is still out of his mind. Howard Stark. There is another possibility, and that is to choose whoever is the same. The gods on Olympus are all virtues, and their natural jealousy is much stronger than humans. Howard Tucker. In Greek mythology, there are many stories about gods being jealous and vain, even a positive goddess like Athena. Even if Hera is not allowed to choose another goddess after the day on Thursday. Li Zan. There is indeed such a possibility. There are many teams who can only share weal and woe, and cannot be with wealth and wealth. Maybe those goddesses can get along peacefully during Zeus's startup, and they will start fighting after the overall situation is settled. However, when this happens, only it can show that his Long Aocean destiny is already unstable. Long Aocean will not encounter such troubles. His harem must be obedient, sensible and considerate. Thomas Wayne. I have to say that Hera is indeed a very ferocious woman. In Zeus' harems, many were killed by Hera. Zeus can't do anything, and he can't control Hera, which is why he lost Longao, the price of destiny. Li Zan. Of course, what is the name of Long Aocean? But Zeus is indeed ruthless, watching Hera persecute his former lover. Howard Stark. Normal, the Zeus in mythology is a ruthless person. In order to avoid his destiny of being overthrown by his child, he ate the child who was predicted to overthrow him. Uranus said speechlessly. No way, his father Kronos did the same thing, he should know that so much is useless. Thomas Wayne sighed. No, this time is different from his father. Cronus swallowed the children after they were born, and Zeus directly ate the pregnant wife. Pity the one who supported him all the way. Métis, the goddess of wisdom who became the king of gods, ended up in such a tragic end. The mutant He Huang sneered. What kind of goddess of wisdom is she who does not know people? Since she has assisted such a ruthless and unjust king, she must bear the corresponding price. Whitebeard, Namikaze Minato, Senju Tobarama, and Dongfang Gaiyu were silent, and they felt that they had suffered a lot in terms of identifying and employing people. One Piece Roger. It's the fault of Long Ao Tianming, otherwise, how could Métis, the goddess of wisdom, choose Zeus to assist? At that time, it was not Métis, the goddess of wisdom, who chose to assist Zeus. Sword God Ryoma. Indeed, if only Métis chose the wrong one, it's okay to say that if a group of people chose the wrong one, it would be very problematic. Dongfang Gaiyu. Master Group Owner, did the black fox outside the circle invade the circle in a big way in the original history? Li Zan curiously asked. The black fox outside the circle invaded the world inside the circle. What is going on? Xiao Zhan wondered. Inside the circle, outside the circle, what does it mean? Li Zhan explained. Black foxes are powerful creatures in the world of fox demons. They can strengthen themselves by devouring their emotions, and they can control others. Zhengqizi. Isn't this a demon? It's just right to destroy it directly. Li Zhan. The problem is that the Taoist priests and the demon clan in the fox demon world can't beat the black fox together. The reason why the black fox did not rule the entire fox demon world is because there is a powerful presence in the fox demon world, Ao Lai Guo San Master. Li Zhan. The three young masters who came from the country drew a circle in the fox demon world, kept the black fox in the world outside the circle, and prohibited the black fox from invading the world inside the circle. However, one or two black foxes quietly ran away. In the past, this kind of thing was difficult to stop. Lu Xing said speechlessly. The three young masters who came to the country proudly drew a circle. Isn't this the Monkey King from Journey to the West? Li Zhan. There are many Monkey Kings in the heavens and the world. The third young master of the proud country is only somewhat similar to Monkey King. He is not the real Monkey King. Dongfang Gaiyu. The leader of the group is right. In the past, there were only one or two black foxes who wanted to quietly enter the inner world. However, we also have troops stationed on the edges of the inner circle and the outer circle, and the purpose of garrisoning the army is to guard against black fox. Howard Stark. As a result, there are now a large group of black foxes, more than you can handle? Dongfang Gaiyu. That's right, there are a large number of black foxes who want to invade the circle one after another. This is likely to be the test of the black fox outside the circle to us, and it can even be said to be the test of the third young master who came to the country proudly. Senju Hashirama asked. You can't stop them? Dongfang Gaiyu said helplessly. Yes? There is a gap in the strength of the two sides, not to mention the previous wave of Wangchen hegemony, which killed and injured the younger generation of Daomen masters. Li Zhan. Don't worry, let me check the situation. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 264. Her two sisters are very good. The boundary line between inside and outside the circle. Dongfang Gaiyu led the Taoist priests of the One Chi Dao League, and the Tushan Fox Demon led by Tushan Honghong gathered here to fight the black foxes attacking from outside the circle. After learning from Li Zhan that Tushan Honghong wanted to live in peace with humans, Dongfang Gaiyu tried every means to promote the peaceful coexistence between humans and demons. With the joint efforts of him and Tushan Honghong, Yiki Dao League and Tushan Fox Demon can join hands to fight. Of course, the reason why the peace between humans and the monsters came so quickly was due to the external force of the black fox outside the circle. Just when the Taoist priests of the One Chi Dao League and the Tushan Fox Demon were about to lose their hold, Li Zhan's body stepped out of nothingness and waved his hand at the black foxes who were rushing outside. A hot flame came out of his hand, surging out. The black and white intertwined flames exudes a strange attraction, directly swallowing the dense black foxes in the nearby sky, and then directly burning them into nothingness. Lord Li Zhan. Seeing Li Zhan appear, Dongfang Gaiyu breathed a sigh of relief and brought the others to salute Li Zhan. I probably know why the black foxes attacked here. Don't worry, I'll solve the problem right away. Li Zhan smiled slightly, glanced at the Tushan Fox Demons, and disappeared directly. In the chat group, Howard Stark asked curiously, the one in red is Tushan Honghong? I remember that the group leader mentioned her before, and he has no interest in her, right? Mutant He Huang. I seem to understand the reason. Is this Tushan Honghong a facial paralysis? Since Dongfang Gaiyu started the live broadcast, her expression has not changed. Sword God Ryoma. The lord of the group said that after she accidentally killed a little Taoist priest who saved her, she gave up talking with her mouth. I thought she just gave up talking, but she also fixed her expression. Thomas Wayne. The expression is still there, but most of the time it is an indifferent face. If I remember correctly, is Dongfang Gaiyu's grandson related to this fox demon? Li Zhan. Yeah, in the original future, Dongfang Gaiyu's youngest daughter's son made a pair with this fox demon. Dongfang Gaiyu sighed and said, the love of the she-male. Tushan Honghong is probably older than me. Fortunately, Tushan has the business of reincarnation and renewal, otherwise the love of the she-male would be a proper tragedy. Howard Stark curiously said, I am very curious, how did this fox demon get together with a kid? She looks so indifferent. Li Zhan. In order to save Tushan Honghong, the little Taoist was killed by Tushan Honghong by mistake. Tushan Honghong felt that she was in love with the little Taoist. Of course it was just her unrequited love. Li Zhan. Later Dongfang Gaiyu's grandson Dongfang Yueyue, in order to avoid the pursuit of human Taoist priests, fled to the territory of Tushan Fox Demon. The reason why human Taoist priests chased him is also very simple, and wanted him to be his father-in-law. Oriental Lonely Moon. Xiao Zhan was stunned. What is it? Howard Stark. The women of the Dongfang family can pass on their spiritual power to the next generation. It seems that those human Taoist priests want Dongfang Yueyue to be a breeding machine, and enough daughters to help them build a strong family. Mutant Black Emperor. Yeah, Dongfang Yu's daughter can not only pass on spiritual power to future generations, but also possessed the pure yang yan of the Dongfang family. It is not surprising that human Taoist priests want him to be his father-in-law. Li Zan. After Dongfang fled to the Tushan Fox Demon's territory at the beginning of the month, he stayed there in a stubborn manner, and fell in love with Tushan Honghong at first sight, and began to be courteous to her. Dongfang Gaiyu said speechlessly. After so many hardships, after he finally settled down, he didn't want to improve his strength, but began to pursue a fox demon? Li Zan said helplessly. Yeah, there are stories about the love between she-males and monsters in this world, but Dongfang Yu's love affair with Tushan Honghong started inexplicably. Love at first sight and then love over time? That's about it? Li Zan. At that time, Dongfang Yu was young. From this point of view, the age of puppy love in this world was comparable to that of the Hokage world. Understand these things. Dongfang Gaiyu asked. What happened at that time? Li Zan. A group of human Taoists entered the territory of the Tushan Fox Demon in order to capture him, and Tushan Honghong went out and captured them all. At the beginning of the month, Dongfang gained wealth by relying on the magic tools that were abducted from the pit, and got the long-term residents of the Tushan Fox, opportunities for tribal territory. Dongfang Gaiyu thought, maybe it was the Tushan Honghong hero who didn't impress him? After all, the Tushan Fox clan can't fight much, so Tushan Honghong is the mainstay. Li Zan pondered. It makes sense. Many of the loves between she-males and monsters in this world start from the hero saving the beauty. If it is explained by the hero saving the beauty, Dongfang Yu's inexplicable love for Tushan Honghong also has source. Mutant Heiwang. I have another explanation here. After seeing the strength of Tushan Honghong, Dongfang Yu didn't want to work hard. Han Fei. Want to eat soft rice? It's possible. Li Zan. When you meet a good person, you start a family. When you meet a noble person, you start a business. And when you meet a rich woman, you start a family and start a business. Tushan Honghong is not only powerful, but also the king of the Tushan family. She can be regarded as the top rich woman in the fox demon world. Dongfang Gaiyu. Don't Dongfang Gaiyu really eat soft rice? The descendants of my Dongfang family will not be so unpromising. Li Zan. That's right. Relying on the spells he learned in the Tushan Fox clan and the magic power he inherited from his mother, Dongfang Yu later became the #1 Taoist in the world, and returned from hunting a black fox outside the circle. Irisfield. After saying so much, the reason why the group owner is not interested in Tushan Honghong is because she is difficult to face? Li Zan. Isn't that a good reason? If I were Dongfang Yue, I wouldn't have attacked Tushan Honghong. Doesn't she have 2 younger sisters? Her 2 younger sisters are pretty good. A fierce and cute lowly, she is evil at a young age, and she is a cold queen when she grows up. It is a pity that he also became facial paralysis. Fortunately, all this has not happened yet, and there is still the possibility of transformation. A cute Mimi eye can turn into a 1,000-face bewitching face of anyone. Just like Mystique, she is a perfect woman, and she doesn't have the unacceptable body shape of Mystique. Senju Tobarama said speechlessly. Sure enough, the group leader hasn't changed at all. Li Zan said proudly, of course, I'm still the boy I used to be. When everyone was speechless, Li Zan from the outside world came to an island. Proud to come to the country, Wagwo Mountain. Several beings exuding powerful auras were suspended around Ally Nation, jointly maintaining a huge formation that enveloped the entire Ally Nation. The translucent energy shield surrounded Ally Kingdom. A man with golden light all over his body stood in the formation, waving a golden stick to attack the energy list, trying to break the blockade of Ally country by the formation. Third young master, don't waste your efforts. Even if you can break this formation, so what? In the period of time when you broke the formation, it is enough for us to finish all the things we need to do. So let's all calm down a bit, so that we can all save some energy. A middle-aged fat man with a wealthy body was suspended in the air, smilingly looking at the third young master of Alagwo in the formation. Reincarnator. Li Zan's eyes lit up when he came here, and he met a reincarnator so soon. It's time to test his thoughts. Boom. Li Zan raised his palm, shot a powerful flame beam from his 5 fingers, and hit the reincarnations who were maintaining the formation in the distance. Who? A few reincarnations sensed the flying flames, and they hurriedly wanted to defend against it, and various defensive methods were used by them. However, under the absolute power, the defensive barrier they released was easily melted like hot knife cutting butter, and the flame beam with terrifying high temperature directly penetrated their body. Congratulations to host for successfully killing 4 reincarnations and obtaining 4 reincarnation seals. The system's prompt sounded, the 4 reincarnations were printed, and Li Zan's face melted. Boom. With the 4, Li Hao, reincarnations being killed by Li Zan, the formation that no one presided over was directly broken by the third young master of Alagwo, and the glittering figure stood in front of Li Zan. Who are you, my? Alagwo's third young master's tone was uncertain. He once traveled to the world of fox demons, but he had never heard of Li Zan and these 4 reincarnators. Li Zan and these 4 reincarnations are all sudden and powerful, and the third young master of the Ally Kingdom instinctively remains vigilant. Li Zan glanced at the third young master of Ally Guo with a calm expression, and said in a flat tone, "Don't worry, I am not your enemy, and I will not be detrimental to the world. Without the thought of having a deep chat with the third young master of the Ally Kingdom, Li Zan's body left here directly, entered the place that was designated as outside the circle by the third young master of the Ally Kingdom, and found the nest of a creature like the Black Fox. At this moment, the leader of the Black Foxes, the Lady of the Black Fox, is communicating with a reincarnator. The mission of the reincarnators is to help the Black Fox Lady occupy the circle, so they need the help of the Black Fox Lady. Like the reincarnators in the pirate world, they have no idea of dealing with follow-up events. Trap the third young master of the Ally Kingdom, let the Black occupy the Fox Circle, and then they immediately withdrew. As for whether the third young master of the Ally Kingdom will kill the Black Fox Mother after leaving the customs, it has nothing to do with them. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 265 Fierce Demon Heresy. But the Black Fox Lady is not a fool, she realized the danger, and did not listen to the reincarnation and let the Black Foxes invade. Although the reincarnations promised that they would deal with the third young master of Ally Kingdom, the Heihu Nyanganang still did not believe it. So while she was wrangling with the reincarnators, she wanted the reincarnations to solve the third young master of Ally Kingdom first. On the one hand, he constantly sent Black Foxes to invade the circle, in order to test what happened to the third young master of Alaguo. Got you. Just when the Black Fox Lady was arguing with the reincarnator, a faint voice suddenly sounded. Then Heihu Nyanganang's cave was directly opened. Who? Madame Heihu was shocked, and she didn't even notice the sudden voice. The reincarnator was even more surprised. Could it be that the third young master of the Ally Kingdom came in? After they saw the person clearly, their faces showed puzzled expressions. When did such a strong man appear in the Fox Demon world? However, Li Zan was not in a good mood to answer their doubts. With a big wave of his hand, he activated the energy of heaven and earth, and a huge energy palm pressed towards Lady Black Fox and Samsara, knocking them out with a bang. Congratulations to host for killing the reincarnation and getting a reincarnation seal. In the chat group, Dongfang Gaiyu, master of the group, the third young master of Alaguo is here. Those Black Foxes who want to invade the circle have been dealt with by him. Li Zan. It seems that there is no problem. As long as there are no more illegal characters such as transmigrators and reincarnations in your world, there will be no major problems in this world. Han Fei. Master of the group, the third young master of Alaguo is also practicing the exercises in the Fox Demon world, right? With the exercises I'm practicing now, can I reach his level? Li Zan. Enough. But you don't have to worry about 530. Both the Dochi world and the Yangshen world have techniques for cultivating the soul. Especially in the Yangshen world, their techniques for cultivating the soul are professional. Zhengxizi. It's true. There are two main cultivation methods in our Yangshen world, namely, martial arts to strengthen the body and immortals to strengthen the soul. If you cultivate your soul to the ultimate, you can become a Yangshen. Han Fei asked curiously, how strong is the Yang God? Zhengxizi. The Yang God world has not appeared in the Yang God world for many years, and I don't know how powerful they are. But after the death of the Yang God powerhouse, their souls are enough to evolve into a Middle Thousand world. Howard Stark asked curiously, what is the Middle Thousand world? Li Zan. Planet. According to the Sun God world, the Earth is a Middle Thousand world. Lucky Star. Can a planet evolve after death? The Sun God at least has the power to explode a star. Han Fei. Master Group Leader, can I practice the soul technique of the Yangshen world in my current state? Li Zan. Of course. Zhengxizi. The cultivation method of the soul in the world of the Sun God requires the physical body as a match. Although the chat group has given the soul special attributes, can it be practiced in the world of the Sun God? Li Zan. Don't worry, there is absolutely no problem. You are worried about what you are doing, and it is not a matter here. Give me the pass to the Yangshen world, and I will see what time period it is going on there. After getting along for a while, Zhengxizi already believed in Li Zan, so he gave Li Zan his Yangshen world pass. BFDH, Zhengxizi. Before I died, I participated in a war between good and evil. I want to know who won the war. If the evil demons win the final victory, I hope that the master of the group can help me eliminate them. Dongfang Lonely Moon. Evil Devil. Zhengxizi. Yeah. The ferocity of those evil demons is beyond your imagination. They use the blood and soul of children to cultivate magic arts, and in order to enhance their own strength, they have committed endless murders. Li Zan. I can attest to this that the evil demons in the Yangshen world are the most ferocious of all the group members in the world. Whether it's Thanos, Black Fox, celestial dragons or demons, none of them can compare with them in terms of ferocity. Howard Stark. No way, Thanos, who wants to wipe out half the population of the universe, can't compare to them. As far as I know, he's going to massacre every time he conquers a planet. What? Li Zan. Maybe they kill more people than the evil demons in the Yangshen world, but they are completely inferior to them in terms of cruelty. After all, the killing of the tyrant is done with one shot, and the evil demons are trying to torture them. Zhengxizi. I can testify that the ferocity of evil demons is beyond your imagination. The cultivation of many evil sects requires souls full of resentment. So after they arrest people again, they will try their best to make them suffer, and then die with endless pain and resentment. Thomas Wayne. It's utterly anti-human, Dongfang Gaiyu. Sure enough, compared with them, the black fox can't be counted. Fisher Tiger. Same for celestial dragons. Celestial dragons just don't treat slaves as human, haven't perverted them to the same extent. Lucy. I believe it now. Among the worlds where the chat group members live, the demons in the Yangshen world are the most ferocious. But in terms of the number of murders, Thanos is the best, right? Li Zan. Almost. The demon heretics in the world of Yangshen, Mir V in the world of Stealing Stars, and Emperor Hundian in the world of Dookie, although they killed a lot of lives, there is still a gap between them and Thanos. Xiao Zan. Mir V and the Soul Emperor? Li Zan. That's right, Mir V slaughtered more than half of the earth in order to refine the body of the gods, and Emperor Hundian sacrificed most of the Zhangzhou blood in order to refine the Emperor's young elixir into the real Emperor's elixir, and died at their hands. There are many people there. Lucky Star. Those who were killed by Mir V should be resurrected by the true god Zhuyue with the power of time. Li Zan. Of course. But the people killed by Emperor Hundian are different. They have turned into the energy of Emperor Hundian to advance to Emperor Do, and they cannot be recovered. Xiao Zan. It doesn't matter, none of this has happened yet. Outside world. Li Zan used the Yangshen World Pass and came to the center of the Yangshen World, which is called the Yangshen World of the Great Thousand World. Li Zan appeared on a vast expanse of sea, and members of the chat group explored this strange world through him. Xiao Zan said in surprise. What a huge world, which one is bigger than the world of Do Chi? Li Zan. Of course, the world of the Yang God is even bigger, especially the Daqin world of the Yang God world, which is a vast existence known by the world as the fairy world. Even the cultivation of martial arts and immortals has reached the end, the flesh shatters the vacuum, and the soul becomes Yang. God's peerless powerhouse, there is no way to know how huge the volume of the Great Thousand World is. Xiao Zan. Comparing the world of the Yang God and the world of domination, which is a higher level of the domination world, which one is bigger? Not even the world of domination is inferior to the world of the Yang God. Li Zan. That's not it, domination of the world is definitely more expansive than Yangshen's world, there is no doubt about that. At Zhengqi Zi, do you know the way? Tell me where the battlefield of the war between good and evil is. Zheng Qi said curiously. You don't know? The group owner seems to know everything. I thought you knew where our battlefield is. Li Zan said helplessly. I know that the battlefield of your battle between good and evil is in the Abyss of 9 Regions, but I don't know where the Abyss of 9 Regions is. Just like I know that Emperor Tuoshi's cave is in Haijiaoyu, I don't know where it is. Know how to get to the Black Corner territory. Zheng Qi suddenly said. Understood, let me go out and lead the way for the master of the group. Although the world of Daqin is vast, we who live here also have our own way of exploring. Li Zan. Okay, I'll call you out now. The righteousness of the soul state was summoned by Li Zan from the outside world, and he felt curious about his state. Unbelievable. Although I could have my soul detached from the body during my lifetime, the state of my soul at that time was completely different from what it is now. Zheng Qi's palm twisted, and the power of qi and blood permeated from his soul, with a stunned expression on his face. Soul, in my state, I can even have martial arts qi and blood. And this martial arts qi and blood is not transformed by the power of the soul. Li Zan said indifferently. It's not surprising that Xiao Zan who is in the state of soul can still use Do Qi. You are in the same state as those of reincarnation, and you can use whatever you have in your attributes. One Piece Roger thoughtfully said. This state makes me feel a little familiar, isn't that what the group leader's skills are? Although the group leader has many devil fruit abilities, he is not demon fruit power. Whitebeard. That's right, the group owner got our devil fruit ability through the red envelope function and attribute function of the chat group system. Without the weakness of devil fruit ability, it can also be compatible with various abilities. Fire Fist Ace. Because these abilities are attribute skills to him, now the undead summoned by the group master seems to have similar abilities. Of course, reincarnations also have this characteristic. Senju Tobarama. That's true. The masters who don't have chakra can use ninjutsu as a skill, and the same is true for reincarnators. The ninjutsu they buy with reincarnation coins can be used without chakra at all. Zheng Qi said with a smile. This is good news. The only flaw is that you can't use the method of strengthening your body to increase your strength. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 266 The King of Artifacts, Perpetual Motion? Righteousness feels a little pity. After all, cultivating the physical body is also a way to become stronger. Although he can still use the physical power in front of him, and even collect all kinds of condensed true chi from the heavens and the earth, these abilities have already been locked. It was as if Man Zan could use Do Chi, but he could no longer cultivate Do Chi to become a Do Emperor. Unless they become reincarnators, by adding points with reincarnation coins, they can improve their physical body and vindictive attributes. After Zheng Qizi sighed with emotion, he quickly used the Dao method to explore the way, and quickly locked the direction to the Middle Earth and Tianzhou. In the chat group, Dongfang Gaiyu asked, Are you going to your former battlefield? Zheng Qizi replied, I can't even figure out my own position now. How can I get to our former battlefield? I need to arrive at the Middle Earth and Tianzhou first and determine the direction before I can find the Nine Regions Abyss. Howard Stark curiously said, you can't even figure out your own location, you can find the direction to Zhongguang Tianzhou. It seems that Zhongguang Tianzhou is very special in this world, similar to the existence of the extreme. Zheng Qizi. Extreme. Although I don't know what this is, the Middle Earth and Tianzhou are indeed a very special existence in the Daqing world. Only there is the orthodox territory of the human race, and outside Tianzhou are the land of barbarians. Dad. Dad suddenly thought of a question, you won't keep a distance from the barbarian land, right? Dad advises you not to do this. Be careful that a giant grows on the barbarian land, come. Zheng Qizi. Don't worry about this. The dynasties in the Middle Earth Tianzhou have never given up the development of the barbarian land. However, there are very powerful barbarian countries in all directions of the Zhongguang Tianzhou, which makes the human race's development of the Daqing world change very difficult. Howard Stark. I just checked the information. Are the barbarians you are talking about also human? In other words, this title is not very friendly to me. Zheng Qizi. Barbarians are also members of the human race in terms of life form, but they are not pure human races. The blood of the ancient demons flows in their bodies, so they have never been recognized as human races by the Middle Earth and Tianzhou. Mutant Black Emperor. Ancient demons. The ancient demons in this world should be different from the ancient demons in our world, right? Li Zan. Almost, they are all born strong beings with unparalleled power. Dongfang Gaiyu. Do these ancient demon gods still exist? Li Zan. No, it's basically over. After the rise of the human race, generations of strong people worked hard and finally wiped out the demons. Dongfang Gaiyu. At the beginning of our world, the human race was bullied by the demon clan. After all, the human race is really incomparable with the demon clan in terms of innate conditions. Until we discovered the magic weapon and the secret of cultivation, the appearance of Taoist priests gave the people a foothold. Li Zan. The human race in this world is similar. They find that they can visualize the images of those demon gods in their minds to strengthen their souls and use the power of their souls to cast spells. Li Zan. Besides, they also explore the mysteries of the human body, develop the power of the human body through martial arts, and make their bodies strong enough to be comparable to the demon gods, and have combat power no less than that of the demon gods. Zheng Qizi. The king of Tianzhou has arrived, wait for me to ask the time. After the righteous person from the outside world arrived in Zhongguang Tianzhou, he came directly to a city and used magic to confuse an official with a high status, asking about the current time and what happened in the past. Through this official's answer, Zheng Qizi learned that hundreds of years have passed since the war between righteousness and evil, and there are not many people who know the history of the war between righteousness and evil. He didn't know what the outcome of the battle between righteousness and evil would be, but only knew that there was no news of both the righteousness and the evil that once flourished. After listening to this, Zheng Qizi couldn't help but ask Li Zan, who was beside him, and said, Lord Group Leader, shouldn't both good and evil perish together? Li Zan. No, after a fierce battle, the good and the evil finally chose to strike. They are still in the Nine Regions Abyss, and they use the resources of the Nine Regions Abyss to develop their own strength. Zheng Qizi said, stunned. They actually ended the war. But that's fine. If you can keep those evil demons in the abyss of the Nine Regions, it's a good thing, at least it can stop them from doing evil. Li Zan sneered. That's not necessarily. Including your wife Yin Yunzi, there are 3 leaders of Taoism at this time, collectively known as the 3 ancestors of Taoism. The purpose of the abyss they stayed in the 9 domains is not to limit the magic way, it is purely in order to develop their own strength. Li Zan. They oppressed the Taoist forces in the abyss of the 9 regions, trying to annex them, trying to merge all the Taoist forces and set up a vision that belongs to them. Zheng Qizi couldn't believe it. No way, Yin Yunzi is not that kind of person. Li Zan disdainfully said, people can change, especially after she has mastered power. The rhyme in your impression no longer exists, and now he is just a vicious woman who can trade with her daughter, full of power and strength. Righteous. Senju Hashirama. Is it another drama that is corrupted by power and power? It seems that this kind of thing is not uncommon in the heavens and the world. Li Zan. It's human nature, it's the same in any world. Righteousness. If that's the case, then I have to stop them. Maybe they have fallen, but I haven't forgotten my righteousness. The righteousness of the outside world led the way and went to the 9 domains abyss with Li Zan. In the chat group, Xiao Zan said in surprise, is the so-called Juyu abyss a special space? It seems that the practitioners in this world also master a strong space power. Zheng Qizi. People who cultivate the soul will master the power of space after 4 thunder tribulations, and the world will be derived in one thought. After 6 thunder tribulations, they can break through the void of the great thousand world, and the power of space will be even higher. Floors. 7 thunder tribulations can be called the creator, and can use his own thoughts to derive all things, and it is not impossible to create an independent space like Do Sheng. Xiao Zan. Thunder calamity. The powerful elixir in our world will face thunder calamity after it is released, but the situation where practitioners face thunder calamity has never happened. And this 9 regions abyss is not just as simple as space, it seems that there are other things inside. Have the power of time. Ask for flowers Li Zan. The Nine Domains Abyss is a naturally formed independent space, similar to a pagoda. Since it is called the Nine Domains, it naturally has 9 floors. The further down you go, the slower the passage of time, until you reach the bottom. Time almost stood still. Dongfang Gaiyu. The environment in this 9-domain space is very bad. The further down you go, the worse the environment is. Can people really live in this kind of place? Li Zan. Although the environment here is harsh, there are a lot of natural materials and treasures produced here. Both good and evil are plotting the rich resources here. The purpose of their stay here is to scavenge the entire 9 regions abyss. Zheng Shizi. I began to believe the words of the group leader, because this was our battlefield back then. Compared with that time, the resources here are indeed much scarcer now. Howard Stark. Resources? Are you talking about metallic minerals here? Other than that I don't see anything noteworthy. Li Zan. This world is very similar to the world of Dongfang Lonely Moon, and there are magic weapons here. And the metals, rocks, wood, water and even creatures here are good materials for refining magic tools and even refining medicine pills. 0. Zhengqizi. What is the purpose of Yinyanzi and the others to search for resources? Li Zan. The 3 of them worked together to create a super magic weapon, the Zushan Mountain, and wanted to refine it into the King of Artifacts. However, there are too many materials needed to refine the King of Artifacts, and there are not enough materials in the abyss of the 9 domains. They began to think of the ancestral magic weapons of various Dahlman, trying to smelt them all into the ancestral God Mountain. Zheng Shizi said helplessly, "Is the King of Divine Artifacts so easy to build? It's too naive. If this thing is really easy to build, there won't be only 2 pieces since ancient times." Dongfang Gaiyu. What is the King of Divine Artifacts? Listening to what you mean, this seems to be the highest level artifact in the Yangshen world. Zheng Shizi. You guessed right, that's it. The only 2 kings of artifacts exist in legends, and it is even said that they have perished together. I haven't seen the real kings of artifacts, I just heard that they have the terrifying power of easily broken stars. Lucky Star. Easy to break a star. Li Zan. That's right. The king of artifacts is at full power and can shatter the planet in one hit. Dongfang Lonely Moon. Powerful magic weapons need powerful mana to promote them. What if they created the king of artifacts? Li Zan. You don't understand, right? There is a special magic weapon called Thunder Pond in the Sun God world. It can automatically extract the power of thunder between heaven and earth, and after domestication, it can be used to strengthen the magic weapon and push the magic weapon. To God there is such a thing as a thunder pool on the King of Tears, and it does not need people to push it and has destructive power. Howard Tucker was shocked and said, there is a powerful force without the need for people to push, and you can extract the thunder to push the perpetual motion of the magic weapon? This kind of thing can't exist at all. Li Zan pondered. Perpetual motion? Almost, don't make a fuss, don't the infinity stones also have infinite energy? Howard Tucker calmed down and sighed. That's right, endless energy has appeared, and there is nothing impossible for perpetual motion machines. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 267. It is only strange that the strong can be produced. The abyss of the 9 regions, within the Dahlman site. Li Zan and Zheng Shizi hid their breath and quietly observed the situation here. After passing through the chat group, Li Zan observed Xiao Zan here and couldn't help but ask, I have a question. Are those who cultivate the soul in the Yangshen world much nobler than those who cultivate the body? Or, this situation only exists in 9-domain abyss? Zheng Shizi responded in the chat group with a gloomy expression. People who cultivate the soul in the world of Yang God are indeed nobler than those who cultivate the body. But the gap between them is definitely not that big. Dongfang Gaiyu said puzzled. The potential and strength of those who cultivate the soul and those who cultivate the flesh should be almost the same. Why is there such a big gap in their status? Righteousness. Because people who cultivate the soul can reincarnate after their physical aging reaches the level of ghost fairy, and find an unborn child to be reborn. Their lifespan is determined by their soul, and they can live for hundreds of thousands of years. Long. Zheng Shizi. And those who cultivate the physical body, even if they reach the peak of immortals who can rival the creator of the 7 thunder tribulations, their lifespan is only 200 or 300 years. Understand? Cultivating the soul is the majority of 530 people's choice. Zheng Shizi. As long as people with wealth and status are noble, they will choose to cultivate the soul. Only those servants who serve others and warriors who fight on the battlefield will choose to cultivate the physical body. Li Zan. Accurately speaking, it is not the person who cultivates the soul with noble status, but the noble person who cultivates the soul. Zheng Shizi. That's it. However, the warriors here are obviously limited, and their strength cannot reach the level of the martial saint at all, because someone has banned them with magic. Li Zan. This is not surprising, because there is no way to survive the calamity here, so the cultivators here can't go further when their strength reaches the ghost fairy. But the martial artist does not have this restriction, and the cultivator is afraid of the strength of the martial artist. Too strong will turn against customers. Li Zan. So the martial artists here are all banned, and their strength is not allowed to reach the level of martial arts that can compete with ghosts. Once there are strong martial arts among the martial artists, the cultivators who are vested interests will join forces to hunt them down. Zhang Qizi sighed. This is a bit too much. What is the difference between this practice and the evil demons who are raised as livestock? Li Zan. There is still a difference. Demons and heretics will not cultivate ordinary people at all. Of course, this does not mean that righteousness is a good thing. Their attitude towards ordinary people is no different from that of demons. The only difference is their way of exploitation. Li Zan. The monks of the magic way fish and fish, while the monks of the right way can continue to develop. These warriors and ordinary people who are raised by them are ordered to pay homage to the three ancestors of Taoism and donate incense to them. Xiao Zan. The power of incense? Is that special soul power the power of incense? Zhang Qizi. That's right. The power of incense in our world is very magical, and it has the ability to make fakes into reality. These incense powers can form fanatical thoughts and form gods. Dad was stunned. God? Li Zan. Let me explain. For example, I tell the story of the 8 great demons in this world, and then make a group of people worship the 8 great demons. Their incense will condense into fanatical thoughts and form the souls of the 8 demons they imagined. Howard Stark suddenly realized, artificial god? Li Zan. That's it. But the souls of these gods are a bit special, and they must be provided by believers to provide them with incense and wishing power, so that they can maintain their existence. Unless they condense their bodies and completely get rid of the limitations of their own life forms. Zhang Qizi. Daomen does have a method of condensing incense and fire gods. What is the goal of the 3 Daomen ancestors? Or do they want to use these incense vows to strengthen instruments? As far as I know, incense vows can strengthen instruments. Li Zan. Strengthen the magic weapon. Since they are determined to build a king of artifacts, how can they divert their energy to make some incense gods? For them, it is the most sensible to integrate these incense powers into the Zeshan Mountain's choice. Zhang Qi was silent, and after a while he sighed softly. They weren't like this back then, can the group master stop them? Li Zan laughed. Of course. Li Zan stepped out and stood in the sky of the Daomen site. An incomparably powerful aura burst out from him, causing the people in the Daomen site to jump out one after another. Boom. A powerful light erupted from the Zeshenshan mountain in the distance, trying to counter Li Zan's aura. The 3 figures rose from the ancestral god mountain, and they are the 3 ancestors of the Taoist sect today. Who is your excellency? How dare you be presumptuous on our Taoist site? Go back quickly, we can ignore the past. If you're stubborn, we're welcome. The 3rd Taoist patriarch scolded and tried to intimidate Li Zan, threatening him to stop immediately. Unbelievable. A mocking expression appeared on Li Zan's face. If he didn't say anything, he shot it with a palm. The ancestor mountain, which was relied on by the 3rd patriarch of Taoism, was smashed by his palm, and the aftermath even caused the 3rd patriarch of Taoism to vomit blood and fly upside down. Be upright, take over all this. After all, among the Taoist sects today, many of them are your former comrades in arms and juniors. Li Zan turned his head and said to Zhang Qi, he was not interested in wasting time with the 3rd ancestor of Taoism. With his backing, I believe Zhang Qi will be able to handle these things well. Good. Zhang Qi agreed very readily. He originally thought so, but he was too embarrassed to bring it up. As Li Zan said, the members of Daomen, including the 3 ancestors of Daomen, are basically members and their descendants who participated in the battle of righteous demons. Although he is very disappointed with the actions of the 3rd patriarch of Taoism, Zhang Qizi will not anger those innocent people. Even for the 3 ancestors of Taoism, the righteousness is more disappointed than anger. After all, they were also righteous men who could risk their lives to fight the devil. Zhang Qizi suddenly said, Master Group Leader, according to what you said before, the forces of magic also exist in the abyss of the 9 regions? I want to ask you to solve them. Li Zan nodded casually, no problem. He stretched out his hand, and the space in front of him was immediately cut open, revealing an area with a lot of exhaust gas, and then Li Zan slapped it with the palm of his hand. Accompanied by Li Zan's palm, a jet black flame surged out, engulfing the area in an instant. One after another force tried to resist, but was forcibly suppressed by Li Zan. After a while, the jet black flame returned to Li Zan's body, feeding back all the blood energy and soul energy that he just devoured to Li Zan's body. Good. Li Zan nodded with satisfaction and smiled gratified. Before obtaining the inheritance of the ancient Emperor Tuoshi, Li Zan's strength was provided by attachments such as 10 tails, magic, dark energy, infinite gems, and the power of the phoenix, except for a little bit of his own cultivation. The inheritance of the ancient Emperor Tuosh made Li Zan successfully become a practitioner of Do-Chi, and at the same time strengthened his body and soul. However, his most powerful is still vindictiveness, and his body and soul have become weak points, which is one of the reasons why he chose to enter the world of the Sun God. This world majoring in soul and body will definitely strengthen his body to the extent that it can be compared with fighting Qi. The void-swallowing flame fed back to the magician monk's body energy and soul energy, which enhanced Li Zan's body and soul. In the chat group, Xiao Zan suddenly said, Master Group Owner, you don't want to bring the 9 regions abyss into the dark dimension, right? Li Zan pondered. Take the abyss of 9 domains into the dark dimension. This is a good idea. The abyss of 9 domains is full of energy and resources, and it will definitely increase the power of the dark dimension, and then strengthen the Lord of my dimension. Zheng Qizi said worriedly. Take the 9 regions abyss away. Doing so will definitely make the energy of the sun god world lack. Does the sun god world have a superior plane that can replenish it? Li Zan. No, there is no higher plane in the world of sun god that can replenish his energy. Zheng Qizi said helplessly. If this is the case, then I hope that the group master will not take away the abyss of the 9 regions. I am worried that the group master's actions will bring huge damage to the whole world. Because the world of the sun god and the world of fighting chi likewise, the number of strongmen is 3.7 fewer generations than generations. Li Zan. That's true. In the ancient world of the Yang god, there were not only naturally powerful demon gods, but also the Yang god strong and the vacuum shattering strong. Now, these 2 levels of strong not even one. Xiao Zan wondered. What is the reason for the decline of their world? Could it be that the top powerhouses in this world have also left this world with energy? Without the superior plane, they went to the level plane? Li Zan. That's not the case. The decline of the sun god world has nothing to do with the energy of heaven and earth, which is the inevitable law of the world's development. The sun god world takes the era as the time scale. The ancient times were the beginning of the era, and now it is heading for the end of the era. And the number of strong people is getting smaller and smaller, in addition to being related to the decline of heaven and earth, more of them are made by themselves. Righteousness is speechless. Do you do it yourself? Xiao Zan asked curiously, why do you say that? Li Zan explained. Whether it's cultivating the soul or the body, you need corresponding exercises and guidance. The strong people in this world don't leave this behind. Every generation of strong people has to explore for themselves. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 268. Do you say I am a good person or a bad person? Knowing that this is the reason why there are no top masters in the world of Yangshen, Xiao Zan said speechlessly. It seems that everyone's world is the same pit. If I could have known earlier that the promotion of Do Di requires the source of the Emperor's energy, absolutely not. We'll do things to collect all the blood of Do Di in the family. Zheng Qizi. If it is said that the information is not all a big pit, the pit of your Do Chi world only hurts your Xiao clan, right? After all, apart from you, no one else has suffered any loss because of the lack of information. Li Zan. It's true. The inheritance of the Do Chi world is not very severe. The world of Yangshen is different, and the information on the large tracts has become top secret. Zheng Qizi. That's true. It's better for those of us who cultivate the soul. At most, those who practice martial arts can become immortals, and it is impossible to smash the vacuum. Because to achieve the level of smashing the vacuum, you need to cultivate all the acupoints of your whole body. Xiao Zan guessed. The method of cultivating the 6 orifices has been lost. Li Zan. In order to smash the vacuum, all 1296 acupuncture points must be successfully cultivated. However, in today's Yangshen world, a complete cultivation method does not exist at all. Zheng Qizi. That's true. Even if it is the inheritance left by the Yang God powerhouse and the vacuum crusher powerhouse, there are only hundreds of recorded acupoint cultivation methods. But I heard that there are thousands of worlds in the world beyond the sky. A complete acupoint practice method. Dongfang Lonely Moon 15. Master, is this true? Li Zan. It's true. On those living planets, cultivating the soul is a very difficult thing, and at most one can cultivate to the level of a ghost. Because the thunder that ghosts need to transcend tribulation is only available in the great world. Zheng Qizi. It's recorded like this in the classics. People in Zhongqing world have no future in cultivating their souls, so their Ishan single-mindedly cultivated the physical body of martial arts, but instead, they probed and inherited the acupoint cultivation method and made it more complete. Xiao Zan was keenly aware of a word, detection? Zheng Qizi sighed. Yeah, if you can't get the method of cultivating acupoints from your predecessors, you can only find out on your own. However, once you make a mistake, you will cause yourself to be injured. The road of martial arts cultivation. Li Zan said with a smile. Otherwise, why would I say that you who do not have a complete inheritance will be miserable? However, the complete method of acupoint cultivation is not without it, but it has been hidden in the tombs of the strong. Xiao Zan said speechlessly. Like Emperor Tuosh. Really convinced. I don't know whether to thank these powerhouses or to hate them. Li Zan. In addition to the tombs of the strong, the most powerful central planet in the thousands of worlds in the outer world also has a complete method of acupuncture cultivation. However, there is no explanation on their acupuncture map, and people with sufficient understanding must be required to understand the meaning. Li Zan. When I talk about this, I'm a little speechless. Why don't those strong people explain the exercises in more detail when they leave the exercises? Do they have to make it so mysterious to appear unfathomable? Why does the practice of the practice become obsessive? A very important reason is that it is impossible to understand the meaning of the words on the practice. For example, Mei Chaofeng trained Juyin God claws into Juyin white bone claws. Why? Because she misunderstood the content of Juyin Sutra. In layman's terms, Juyin Zhenjing is a classical Chinese text, which must be translated into vernacular before cultivation. Mei Chaofeng's translation was wrong, so he practiced wrong. Li Zan seriously doubts that the comprehension required of martial arts practitioners in the martial arts world is the ability to accurately translate classical Chinese. Zheng Qizi, Master Group Leader, the problem of Taoism has been solved. I am going to bring them back to Daqin world and restore them to their original appearance. Li Zan. Then be careful, didn't the official say it before? Now it's a big job. Zheng Qizi. What's wrong with Dagon? A dynasty that has only been established for 3 or 5 years, there's no need to be too dreadful, right? Li Zan. What if I told you that they got the inheritance of the ancient Tao of Fortune and the broken boat of fortune? Zheng Qi was shocked. What, Oriental Lonely Moon, the boat of good fortune? Li Zan. That's right. The 2 kings of artifacts known to the world are the boat of good fortune and the eternal kingdom of Taishangdao. However, these 2 superpowers fought each other hundreds of years ago, and the 2 kings of artifacts both were damaged in the collision. Zheng Qizi. Speaking of this, I'm angry, why can't they calm down? If they don't lose both sides, the evil demons in the world will not dare to be mad. It is precisely because these 2 righteous top powers lose both, the devil's door. There's a chance to rise. Dongfang Lonely Moon. Is the king of artifacts that strong? Li Zan. The complete king of artifacts, the creator who easily crushed 7 thunder tribulations, and the most powerful demon forces participating in the battle between good and evil are only 6 thunder tribulations. Golden Lion Shiki. Jia ha ha ha. What's there to hesitate at such a time? Since those 2 magic weapons are so strong, the group owner can just grab them directly. Li Zan. Great idea. Li Zan from the outside world glanced at the power of Daomen, and with a big wave of his hand, he condensed the surrounding space, and packed them into a small space and took them away. After returning to Daqin world, Zheng Qizi was preparing to arrange the Daomen forces back to their original places, but was surprised to find that the Zhengdao forces of Zhongguang Tianzhou were gathering and heading towards Zhangzhou Dakin Temple. Zheng Qizi was surprised and said, Doggone, I have just established a country, and I am about to attack the Dakin Temple? This is one of the top sects in the Zhengdao force? Dongfang Gaiyu wondered. Dakin Temple. Since they are one of the top righteous sects, why didn't they appear in the abyss of the 9 regions? Zheng Qizi. Because the Dakin Temple at that time was not dispatched in full force, the outside world still had inheritance, and other Taoist forces were basically dispatched. Of course, there is another possibility, that is, the 3 patriarchs of Taoism received 9 Taoist forces. Within the abyss of the domain, the Buddhist power of the Dakin Temple was ignored. The old man said puzzled, Master, do you know why the imperial court has to deal with the Dakin Temple? Zheng Qizi. I want to know too. Li Zan. The first reason is that Dakin Temple colluded with the remnants of the previous dynasty. The second reason is that Dakin Temple is too rich, and the third reason is that Dakin Temple hinders the development of Dagon. Zheng Qizi said stunned. Dakin Temple actually colluded with the remnants of the previous dynasty? No wonder Dagon wants to deal with it, so it's not wrong to say that it was besieged and suppressed. But what's the matter with Dakin Temple being too rich to interfere with Dagon's development? Li Zan. Dagon has just established a country, and the treasury is empty. The money of the Dakin Temple is on the top of the tax revenue of Dagon for hundreds of years. However, the Dakin Temple is not in production, and the money given to them by the believers is used to burn oil and incense. Do you think Dagon will let him go? Li Zan. From the point of view of the common people, the death of Dakin Temple is right. They're just parasites lying on the common people and sucking blood, and they deserve to die. Whitebeard. Parasites lying on the people? Those people give them money, is it voluntary? The outside world is the Dakin Temple, right? I see a lot of people spontaneously protecting this place. Li Zan. It is true that the people give money voluntarily, but they are fooled. It is normal for the imperial court to exterminate such fraudulent gangs. It can even be said that the imperial court is obliged to eliminate this kind of power that exploits the ignorant of the people. One Piece Roger was shocked. Damn it, is this the Great Zen Temple? It's bigger than an island? Li Zan. Running horses to light incense, do you think it's a joke? People would rather go hungry and give the remaining 530 yuan to Dakin Temple, but what does Dakin Temple do with the money? Burn incense oil, gold and silver statues. The grain in the warehouse can be eaten for hundreds of years, but it is unwilling to help the people, and it supports tens of thousands of monks who are not engaged in production. Zheng Qizi said embarrassedly. Dakin Temple has done good deeds, at least they have fought against evil demons who harm innocent people. Li Zan said with disdain. Did you fight with all your life? Those soldiers who fought hard to stop the barbarians from invading Tianzhou did the same. How does the reward they get compared to the Dakin Temple? I know that the Dakin Temple has done a lot of good things, but not enough. Li Zan. I rob other people of 10 taels of gold, and then give out 1 tael of gold to help the poor. Those poor people who have been helped by me treat me as a benefactor, and are even willing to fight the government when the government arrests me. Do you think I am a good person or a bad person? Righteous. After being speechless for a moment, Zheng Qizi changed the subject and said, even if the imperial court wants to deal with the Dakin Temple, what are these people from the rivers and lakes doing here? Not to mention that they came in response to the call of the imperial court. Li Zan sneered. It's just a robbery. With so much wealth accumulated in the Dakin Temple, it's not just the imperial court that is red-eyed. There are so many practitioners here, and most of them want to fish in the water. Zheng Qizi explained. They have so much confidence in the Imperial Court? Li Zan. It's not just the Imperial Court, but Tai Shangdao's dream machine will also take action. Back then, Tai Shangdao and Good Fortune were both hurt. The inheritance of Good Fortune was secretly obtained by the royal family, and there was also a new successor. Tai Shangdao, the successor of the Dream God machine, is now the only creator of 7 Thunder Tribulations in the Great Thousand World. Zheng Qi said suddenly. So it is. After the Daqin Court and Mengshenji united, Dakin Temple has fallen behind in every aspect, and failure has become inevitable, so these Zhonghu scattered cultivators seem to smell blood. The smelly sharks swarmed here. The Dakin Temple is in danger. Should the group master take action? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 269, The Long-Lost Familiar Plot. Hearing Zheng Qizi's suggestion, Li Zan thought thoughtfully. Shoot. Good idea. In the current Dakin Temple, the forces of Zhonghu and the Imperial Court have gathered together. If I take them all down, the entire Middle-earth will fall into my control. Zheng Qizi echoed. Yeah. Especially there are 2 kings of artifacts, and these 2 treasures are the most important. Although they are all left with only the wreckage, they should be able to recover, right? The difficulty of being a king should be much less difficult than creating a king of artifacts. Li Zan. Of course, in the original future, the ship of creation and the eternal kingdom were restored. But since I am here, they don't have to follow their original fate. Li Zan from the outside smiled slightly and stepped out across the space. He cancelled the means of hiding his aura and appeared in front of everyone. Who is that? The sudden appearance of Li Zan surprised everyone, a strong man they had never heard of. The unfathomable aura on Li Zan's body unabashedly revealed his strength. When such a strong man of unknown origin appeared on the battlefield, anyone would feel nervous. Who is your excellency? A middle-aged man in a dragon robe appeared. His soul body was suspended in midair, looking at Li Zan, who was opposite him, and shouted in a deep voice. Me? I'm the one who came to stop you from fighting, and the one who came to incorporate you. Li Zan smiled and replied calmly. Incorporate us? Arrogance? The middle-aged man in the dragon robe was furious when he heard the words, and without a word he slapped it with a palm, and a strong airflow shot out from his palm and bombarded Li Zan. In the chat group, looking at the performance of the middle-aged man in the dragon robe, he said speechlessly. This is the Emperor Dagon? It doesn't feel very good. Xiao Zan said stunned. Could it be that he didn't perceive the power of the group leader? Dongfang Gaiyu commented. Either he is weak and can't see the details of the master of the group, or he is arrogant and does not know how high the sky is. No matter what the reason is for him to take action against the master of the group, it is enough to see his flaws. Li Zan laughed. Don't talk about him like that, he still has some talent. Besides, as an emperor, he also needs face. Han Fei said with a smile. Indeed, the group leader is too ruthless, and he said that he would include them as soon as he came up. Ordinary people can't stand such words, let alone an emperor. Uchiha Madara. Although this Dagon emperor is a little overconfident to the group master, I still admire his courage. If he loses his courage to fight just because the opponent is unfathomable, it would be a bit of a waste. Zheng Qizi echoed. It makes sense, after all, he is the emperor in command of the Zhongzhou dynasty. Even if the group leader looks unfathomable, he will not even have the courage to test it. The ancient Taoist fortunes dominated the world, he the successor of S will not have even a bit of hockey. Li Zan. You guessed it wrong. Although the inheritance of the Tao of creation was obtained by the royal family, it was not the emperor in front of him who obtained the inheritance. To be precise, it is the Prince Yang Pan, who is now a big man. He is the creation, the owner of the boat. Zheng Qizi. His son has obtained the inheritance of the Tao of fortune? That's not bad. One person has obtained the Tao and ascended to the sky, so the emperor is lucky. What about his son? Let me see what the successor of the Taoist is. Li Zan. At the center of the Imperial Army, have you seen those 2 imposing young men? One is wearing a dragon-patterned robe and the other is wearing a golden dragon armor. The young man in the dragon's robe is Yang Pan, the prince of Great Gansu. Master the man who wears the boat of creation. Xiao Zan said unhappily. This guy gives me a very similar feeling to Emperor Soul Heaven. They should be the same kind of people, right? To be able to choose such a successor, it seems that the Taoist fortune is not a good thing. Li Zan. Yang Ying does have some similarities with Huntian Emperor, but there are also big differences. That is, Yang Pan is not as indifferent as Huntian Emperor, he is a man with basic friends. Golden Lion Shiki said speechlessly. No way, I didn't expect to encounter this familiar plot that I haven't seen for a long time. His reason is the young man in the golden dragon armor? Zheng Qizi. That's the super armor left by the ancient sage emperor and Pan Huang, Emperor Tianxilong armor. Only pure martial arts practitioners can wear it. Although the young man wears the golden dragon armor, I am not sure he is not the royal family. Senju Tobarama. Absolutely not. If the 2 young people are from the same family, the group owner will never use the word friend to describe their relationship. If they are from the same family, the group owner should say that they are brothers Control and Brokon. Shiki the Golden Lion. Jia ha ha ha. Who said that people from the same family must be brother control and Brokan? Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisui are also from the same family. The relationship between them is also a base friend, not a brother control, and Brokan. Senju Tobarama was stunned. It makes sense, I was negligent. Uchiha Shisui. Li Zan concluded. The two young people are not from the same family. The young man wearing the golden dragon armor is named Hong Xuanji. His relationship with Yang Pan, a pair of monarchs and ministers, has surpassed the level of ordinary monarchs and ministers. One Piece Roger asked enthusiastically, how good is their relationship? Li Zan. Yang Pan cultivates his soul, and if he wants to cultivate his soul to the level of the Yang God, he needs a powerful body at the level of a human being. Hong Xuanji mainly cultivates the physical body of martial arts, and he can contribute his body to Yang Pan. Irisfield said with emotion, it's really touching friendship, no wonder the group master said that the relationship between them has exceeded the limit. Lancelot. That's not necessarily the case. Dedicating one's body and even life for the Lord is something that many knights can do. Li Zan. Shut up. You are a knight who has a bad heart for the Lord. What qualifications do you have to say this? I believe you can dedicate your body to King Duo Mao, but are you sure your feelings are absolutely pure? Lancelot. Speechless. Outside world. Li Zan waved his hand, and pure white flames rushed out from his body, instantly burning out the energy of the bombardment by Emperor Dagon. Then the white flames soared into the sky, and the rain of fire that turned into the sky fell one after another, and the power of the Jinglian demon fire enveloped the entire Zhangzhou. The pure lotus demon fire has three major characteristics: burning, illusion and purification. At this time, what Li Zan used was the illusion of the pure lotus demon fire. The net lotus demon fire that enveloped the entire Zhangzhou controlled all the high-level court officials and martial arts experts who appeared here. Perfect. Li Zan nodded in relief, looking at the sluggish people in front of him and nodding in satisfaction. Righteousness appeared, hesitantly asked, Lord of the group, what are you going to do with them? Li Zan grinned and said, of course it's to make the world a better place, I'm a good person. If you don't believe me, ask the other members of the group, I've never harmed any group member's world. Zhengqi breathed a sigh of relief, and then asked, then what exactly are you going to do? Li Zan said, soon after the establishment of the country, the treasury was empty, which attracted the victorious ships and invasions of the barbarians from all over the world. In order to have enough strength to fight against these barbarians, the imperial court had to increase the taxation on the people. This is not good, very bad. Li Zan clapped his hands and said with a serious face, today's Dakin Temple is a cancer for Zhongguang Tianzhou, there is no doubt about it. But since they have some credit for fighting the demons and heretics, they will not be destroyed. Sexual assault. However, the death penalty can be avoided, and the living crime cannot be escaped. The wealth accumulated by the Dachan Temple must be confiscated, and their behavior of collecting sesame oil money from believers must be restricted. These damn bald donkeys, the people have worked so hard, and they have to search for the people's hard-earned money, I don't know. How important are those few copper plates to the common people? As Li Zan's voice fell, a donkey with pure white flames in his eyes walked out. He is the contemporary abbot of Dachan Temple. The abbot said calmly that Li Zan was right and that Dachan Temple Hujian, Li Hao decided to carry out Li Zan's orders. Zheng Qizi smiled and said, although doing this will severely damage the power of the Dakin Temple, it is better than being completely wiped out. These people present in the arena are not all big-headed people, and many of them come from do you want to make use of the scattered cultivators of the barbarians in the four directions? Li Zan disdainfully said, spy. With their little strength, I'm not qualified to use such low-level methods. Just right, isn't there someone in the group who wants to cultivate the soul? There are both exercises and opponents, and those who want to come sign up immediately. Han Fei. Master, I want to go to the Yangshen world to practice for a while. In addition to cultivating soul skills, I also need some evenly matched opponents to hone my combat effectiveness. My world's force value is a bit low, I couldn't even find anyone who could practice against me. Dongfang Gaiyu. Count me in. The cultivation techniques in the Fox Demon world are a bit low level to me. In order to reach the level of the third young master of the Ally Kingdom, we must have more advanced techniques, and of course they're evenly matched. Opponents are also necessary. Li Zan. If that's the case, then come over here, at Shaoxing. You can also get your little brother over here. Blind practice is useless, he also needs to fight. In this world, there are just some who can be him. The presence of an adversary. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 270 Your opponent is coming. Sun God World, Dagon Palace. In a hidden space, a broken ship and a building with a round sky are placed in front of Li Zan. It is the two god-tier kings in the world of the Sun God, the boat of creation and the eternal country. Righteousness emerged from the eternal realm and said with emotion, as expected of the famous king of divine artifacts, I have benefited a lot just by comprehending those broken formations. Xiao Zan on the side said, is it so powerful? Why didn't I notice their horror? Li Zan said with a smile, you lack understanding of the formations and soul cultivation in this world, so naturally you can't find their beauty. Zheng Qizi echoed. That's right, The top-level formations are depicted here, and understanding these things can increase the accumulation of souls. If I could comprehend these two things in my lifetime, the creator of the Seven Thunder Tribulations would not have problem. Li Zan said indifferently. You don't have to delay to understand them now. It's a pity that the two kings of artifacts are severely damaged, especially the boat of good fortune. Zheng Qi nodded and said, yes. Maybe because the Dream God machine has achieved 7 lightning strikes to the creator, the damage of the Eternal Kingdom is not as serious as that of the boat of creation, at least its core formation, the Eternal Thunder Pool, is still intact now. Meng Shenji on the side sneered when he heard the words, the Thunder Pond of Eternal Realm is complete, which has nothing to do with me. Back then when the Tao of Fortune and the Tao of Taishang were fighting, you wouldn't think we were evenly matched, would you? Xiao Zan said stunned. Isn't it? Li Zan shook his head and said, of course not. There is only one person in the Taishangdao generation, and one person is a supreme sect. The strength of the supreme leader is much stronger than that of the good fortune leader, and one person can kill the good fortune completely. Meng Shenji said proudly. That's right. The Master of Fortune found that he was not the opponent of Supreme Master 543, and the dog jumped over the wall to explode the core formation of the boat of fortune and the 3 9-element magnetic array that supported the operation of the 3 small thunder pools on the boat of fortune. Zheng Qizi suddenly said, it's no wonder that the inside of the boat of creation is damaged so badly, it turned out to be damaged from the inside. The damage of the Eternal Kingdom is from the outside to the inside, and the sturdy shell offset most of the damage, so it is much easier to repair. Meng Shenji sneered. That's right, and the core formation of the boat of good fortune is not the product of the Tao of good fortune, and it is not recorded in the books of the Tao of good fortune. So it doesn't matter if the royal family gets the inheritance of the Tao of good fortune, because the boat of creation cannot be restored. Zheng Qizi said stunned. Can't the boat of fortune recover? That loss is too great. Li Zan shook his head and said, who said the boat of fortune can't be restored? The 3 9-element magnetic formation is in the central world of the outer sky. In the original future, the leader of the central world used the idea of the Yang God in his hand to help Yang Pan condense the 3 9 yuan magnetic grade array. Zheng Qizi breathed a sigh of relief and said, that's good, after all, this is the king of an artifact, and one of the only 2 kings of artifacts in the Yangshen world. Li Zan smiled. Wrong. Zheng Qi said puzzled. What's wrong? Li Zan laughed. It is true that the boat of creation is the king of artifacts, but it is not one of the only 2 kings of artifacts. There are not only 2 kings of artifacts in the Yangshen world, but 4. Zheng Qi was startled and said in astonishment, how come there are so many? Impossible. Li Zan smiled and said, why is it impossible? The boat of good fortune was built by Taoist people, and the Eternal Kingdom was built too much. The 2 of them are indeed among the top powerhouses in the ancient times, but it is not impossible for them to be stronger than them. Zheng Qizi thought about it. The first Holy Emperor Pan of the human race, or the teacher of the Holy Emperor Pan, who is known as the first emperor of ancient times? Li Zan said with a smile. Although Yingluang created a lot of artifacts, he did not create the king of artifacts. However, Emperor Chongsheng was different. He created a king of artifacts that was more powerful than the boat of creation and the Eternal Kingdom immortality. Monument. Zheng Qi frowned and said, why haven't I heard of it? Li Zan said, because the immortal monument has not been fully completed, it was abandoned by the Emperor Chongsheng. This is also the reason why I let Xiao Zan and Xiao Chen come here. Under the immortal monument, there are opponents I prepared for them. Li Zan glanced at Xiao Chen next to him and asked, are you ready? Your opponent is coming. Xiao Chen held a handful of Scarlet Master and said in a deep voice, no problem, I have been silent in the space of Jinglian Demon Fire for too long, and now I really need a fierce battle. Li Zan smiled and said, as you wish. Li Zan stretched out his hand and swiped into space in front of him, and a space crack was directly opened, revealing an independent space on the opposite side. In that independent space, a huge stone tablet stood on a square, and there was a constant flow of magical energy from under the stone tablet. Immortal monument? Everyone was shocked, and their eyes swept across the huge stone tablet. Meng Shenji frowned and said, that's not right, although I have not seen the complete Eternal Kingdom, the power of the King of Divine Artifacts cannot be so small. Righteously nodded and said, that's right, Lord of the group, didn't you say that the power of the Immortal Monument surpasses the Eternal Kingdom and the Boat of Creation? Li Zan said indifferently. During the ancient times, demons were rampant, and the apex of the demons was 5 god-tier kings. Emperor Chongsheng refined 5 immortal monuments to suppress them, and wanted to use their flesh and blood to enhance the power of immortal monuments. Xiao Zan suddenly said, this is only 1/5 of the immortal monument? Li Zan smiled. The immortal monument is divided into 1 master and 4 slaves. The power of the master monument is stronger than the rest. So it's not 1/5, 1/9, or 1/10. Xiao Chen excitedly said, those demonic chi were released, BFDH, by the suppressed demon god? If I want to fight him, should I give him freedom? Li Zan laughed. Of course. Although the suppressed god king is also strong, it is not enough to give you the pressure to break through. When the words fell, Li Zan waved and threw Xiao Chen into the independent space. At the same time, he took the immortal monument with a wave of his hand. After the immortal monument was removed, a pitch-black demonic energy shot up into the sky, and the monstrous demon ***** drilled out from it, and took it out with a single claw at the flying Xiao Chen. Jia. Is it you who gave me freedom? I want to give you enough rewards. Just let you be a part of me and enjoy the boundless glory with me? The King of Terror, Jia, smiled strangely, and his sharp claws grabbed at Xiao Chen. Laughter like the Soul Clan. Disgusting. Xiao Chen looked sharply at the sharp claws flying towards him, with undisguised disgust on his face. The blood-colored giant axe in his hand slashed the pair of claws fiercely. Pin. The God King of Terror was shivered by Xiao Chen's axe. After being suppressed for so many years, his strength was severely weakened. However, his arrogance was still there. Although Xiao Chen's axe stabbed him, it was not enough to make him retreat. On the contrary, during the years of repression, he held back his fire. As long as the situation is not particularly critical, he will not retreat easily. On the contrary, he has to vent his anger fiercely, preferably to the guy in front of him who hurt him. What a strong body energy. Xiao Zhan stood at the end of the passage, silently watching the battle between Xiao Chen and the King of Terror. How sophisticated is Li Zhan's space technique? The King of Horrors couldn't find it at all. What's the matter with that black waste gas? Don't you mean the Sun God World Majors in body and soul? That black demonic chi is almost the same as vindictive chi. Xiao Zhan quickly discovered Hua Dian and couldn't help asking Li Zhan who was beside him. That's martial arts infuriating. After the martial arts masters cultivate to the immortals, they will cultivate the body's acupuncture points. After each acupuncture point is opened, it will reveal the huge space inside. Martialists can use these acupuncture spaces to store blood energy, and they can also condense all kinds of infuriating energy and store them in it. Zheng Qizi explained that true qi is nothing but an accessory to physical cultivation. In the chat group, Li Zhan, at Hanfei, have you studied Book of Changes? Hanfei. I learned. What's wrong? Li Zhan. The Book of Changes has a special meaning in this world, you can try to write it down. Hanfei asked curiously, what do you mean, Dongfang Gaiyu? I haven't studied the Book of Changes, and I don't even know what the Book of Changes is. Is this thing important? Li Zhan. How do you say it? In the original future, Hong Xuanji's illegitimate son and a group of great Confucian scholars jointly wrote the Book of Changes. This book can be regarded as the most powerful method in the world of Yangshen. Hanfei was stunned and said, no way? When I studied the Book of Changes before, I didn't realize that it was a cultivation method. Li Zhan. I am also curious, so I asked you to write it in this world. Maybe it will appear in this world and have special meaning and power. Dongfang Gaiyu. So, what exactly is the Book of Changes? Hanfei. In my world, this is a masterpiece that explains the natural mysteries of heaven and earth. People in our world use it to fortune-telling for good and bad. In this world, it seems to be a practice method for cultivating the soul. Li Zhan. It's not just about cultivating the soul, but also the way of cultivating the physical body of martial arts. Not only that, the Book of Changes can also be used to calculate in this world, and it can even calculate the cultivation methods of other people's unique skills. Hanfei was shocked. So scary? Li Zhan. Of course. This world has a prophecy of Yi Dao Out, humane reform, and the one who originally wrote the Book of Changes, in the future is the Son of Heaven. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 271 This World is Good. Hanfei. What does Easy Dao Chu, human Dao reform, mean? It feels a bit exaggerated. Li Zhan. Cultivating the soul to achieve the sun god can be described as the way of heaven. Cultivating the body to smash the vacuum, it can be said to be authentic. Leading the development trend of the human race can be said to be human. Li Zhan. There are many masters in the Yangshen world who practice martial arts and immortality at the same time. They cultivate their bodies to crush the vacuum and at the same time they cultivate their souls into Yangshen. Li Zhan. Famous masters like Fortune Taoist, Sheng Wangpan and Tai are all people who have attained the Tao of heaven and Tao at the same time. But since ancient times, no one in the world of the sun god has attained the Tao of humanity. Hanfei asked curiously, since it is so difficult to obtain the human Tao, is the human Tao stronger than the heavenly Tao and the earth Tao? Li Zhan. How do I know this? After all, no one has ever attained humanity. But there is a rumor in the Yangshen world that those who attain the three ways of heaven, earth and human will reach the other side at the same time. Oriental Lonely Moon. What is the other shore? Li Zhan. I should have told you before, right? The sun god world is based on epics. At the end of each epic, all life between heaven and earth will be finished, even the sun gods and the powerhouses that shatter the vacuum. No exception. Hanfei pondered. Can the strong people who reach the other shore survive this calamity of the world's reincarnation? Li Zhan. Of course. Otherwise, why would there be so many strong people who want to reach the other side? Even those strong people who have died have left their legacy and wanted their disciples and inheritors to help them. Make your own wish come true. Hanfei. What is the relationship between the Book of Changes, Yi Dao and humanity? Since the group leader asked us to write the Book of Changes, I think there should be a close connection between them. Li Zhan. It's not supposed to, it's for sure. In the original future, with a group of great Confucian people who wrote the Book of Changes, they successfully mastered humanity. Then, they gathered the power of heaven, earth and human beings to make the whole sun god world go through the great tribulation of the era. Zheng Qi said stunned. Wait a minute, Lord Group Leader, what did you just say? Gathering the power of the three ways of heaven, earth, and people can make the whole world survive the epic catastrophe? I always thought that the epic catastrophe could not be overcome. Zheng Qizi added. Even if those who arrive on the other side can transcend the world and allow themselves to survive the epic catastrophe. But in the face of the natural decline of the whole world, even the strong on the other side can't do anything, right? Li Zan. Indeed, even the strong on the other side can stop the natural reincarnation of the sun god world. However, if you inject new vitality into the declining sun god world, you can still prolong its life. Li Zan. In the original future, the Book of Changes was like a huge treasure, and countless people in the Yangshen world studied it one after another, and gained strength and wisdom from it. Li Zan. The more powerful people in the Yangshen world, the more intelligent beings, the more vitality in the Yangshen world. The strong vitality can curb the decline of the Yangshen world and prolong the life of the Yangshen world. Zheng Qizi suddenly said, as long as you continue to inject vitality into the world of the sun god, the epic catastrophe of the sun god world can be infinitely delayed, and the sun god world can pass the epic catastrophe from another perspective. Li Zan. Correct answer. Han Fei hesitated and said, Master, are you sure you want to give me such a good opportunity? Li Zan said indifferently. I'm pretty sure, it's too troublesome to get human Dao, and the increase in my own combat power is limited. Compared with Yi Dao and human Dao, it is the second Dao of heaven and earth and the king of artifacts that are more attractive to me. Han Fei. Since that's the case, then I'm welcome, I'll start writing Book of Changes now, and everyone can watch my live broadcast. Han Fei opened a permission so that everyone in the chat group could observe the outside world through him, including himself. At this time, Han Fei appeared in a huge library. He stood in front of a huge table, raised the wolf in his hand and swiped on the white paper in front of him. In the chat group, Irisfiel asked curiously, where is Han Fei? It looks like a library. Li Zan. That's the secret library of the Dagon royal family. It collects all kinds of secret books owned by the Dagon royal family. The Dagon royal family is under my control, and it is open to all members of the group. Dongfang Lonely Moon. Look, the words written by Han Fei have changed. Outside, when Han Fei wrote the content of the Book of Changes, strands of golden light appeared between the heavens and the earth, continuously falling towards Han Fei. After these golden lights entered Han Fei's soul body became transparent, as if it was a statue made of crystal. These golden lights made Han Fei's soul power grow rapidly. At the same time, these golden lights also fell on the words written by Han Fei. The content of those words has not changed, but a mysterious power has been added. Zheng Qizi was horrified and said, the group of dragons has no head, and the group of dragons has no head. Is this the mystery of the ancient emperors and the middle-aged princes? The lord of the group is right. This is indeed a supreme treasure book for cultivation. Dad said with emotion. I have read the Book of Changes before, but I didn't find any mystery in it. But now I see the Book of Changes, written by Han Fei, although the content has not changed, but it gives Dad the feeling completely different. Lancelot. This article has become a practice method, and even I am aware of it. I can use it to strengthen my soul. Han Fei ignored the discussion in the chat group, and Ishan swayed his pen and ink, and quickly wrote the complete Book of Changes. After the Book of Changes was written, an unprecedentedly strong golden light suddenly appeared, making the paper full of Book of Changes text become golden and bright, and the quality change. On these papers, there is a mighty righteousness, which can shake the souls of those who are not right. As the writer of Book of Changes, Han Fei's soul at this time is even stronger than ever. As soon as the mind moves, a terrifying soul storm will appear, and the power of the soul is comparable to the soul of the emperor in the world of Do-Chi. Zheng Qizi said with emotion, it's a pity. You can't pass the calamity like a real soul. Otherwise you will definitely be able to pass through 7 thunder tribulations to become the creator like the Middle Ages. Xiao Zan was puzzled and asked, what does it mean to cross 7 thunder tribulations in a row? Dot for Flowers Li Zan helped explain. The middle-aged sons of the Yangshen world did not learn combat spells when cultivating their souls, nor did they participate in the battles between practitioners. They read books and rested their minds on weekdays, and even if they became ghosts, they would not survive the catastrophe. But once the calamity is crossed, it will be earth-shattering, and surviving 7 thunder tribulations in a row is just their basic operation. Han Fei. Enough. Even if I can't overcome the calamity, my soul is strong enough. Moreover, my soul is different from the soul of the Yangshen world, and I can continue to grow stronger without going through the calamity. The ghosts and immortals of the sun god world can accumulate background even if they do not cross the thunder tribulation. However, this background cannot be turned into their strength, and only through tribulation can they be transformed into strength. Even if it is the middle-aged sons who can survive 7 thunder tribulations in a row, as long as they do not survive the tribulation, the strength they can exert is the level of ghost immortals. This is the limit of the world, Just like there is a physical gap between the people in the Hokage world and the pirate world. Fortunately, Han Fei did not come from the world of the sun god, and his current state was not an ordinary soul state. Even a righteous person born in the world of the sun god now has the privilege of enhancing the power of his soul without going through a calamity. After all, they are members of the Cha group, which is the attribute privilege given to them by the undead Cha group. Han Fei. Master Group Leader, my current strength should be able to calm down my world, right? Li Zan. Han Fei, did you know? Back then, I had the power to overwhelm the entire pirate world, but I didn't rashly overthrow the world government that rules it. Because I know that I just have the power to conquer the world, but they don't have the ability to manage the world. Han Fei smiled and said, I understand, Lord of the group, can you help me manage the big business? Although I was smug about wanting to dominate the world, and I felt strongly that I could save the world. But from a practical point of view, I didn't any hands-on experience. Li Zan. No problem. You are now the author of Book of Changes, and it is your responsibility to guide the humane torrent of the world. If you handle the affairs here well, I will not allow you to leave this world. Han Wuyu said. Okay, you are right, I do have this responsibility, but I have no clue about what I have to do. Can the master of the group give me some hints? Li Zan. Let more people know the I Ching, understand the I Ching, learn the I Ching and benefit from the I Ching. Even if your enemies benefit from the I Ching, you can't stop eating because of choking. Han Fei said solemnly. Understood, I'm not afraid of my enemies learning the Book of Changes, because I believe that I have a deeper understanding of this book than everyone else. What the golden light just gave me was not only the strength of my soul, it also gave me a very deep understanding of the Book of Changes. Senju Hashirama. Sir, the reincarnation space has given me a mission. I'm going to the world of X-Men. First battle. Does the group owner know about this world? Li Zan laughed. The first battle of the X-Men? This world is good. A member of our chat group in the middle of this world. The mutant Black Emperor. He is the supervillain of this world. Turn on the live broadcast. By the way, tell me this time. What is the mission? On. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 272 Reincarnation Tasks that appear one after another. Senju Hashirama opened the live broadcast, and everyone in the chat group found him in a modern city. Senju Hashirama said in the chat group, the reincarnation space has issued a task for me to kill the mutant Black Emperor for Magneto. The mutant Haewong had an ugly face, and spoke in the chat group. Master Group Owner, is this world also real? Li Zan. Not necessarily. It is very likely that the reincarnation space created the virtual world. Those who reincarnated before should have said such things. The reincarnation space is not vegetarian, it has the ability to create a virtual world. Senju Tobarama. From the name of this world, this should be a story about the founding of the X-Men. I remember the group leader said that the past and future of our world are stories in the eyes of other worlds. Uchiha Madara sneered. There is no doubt that the protagonists of this story are Eric and Charles, and the villain is our mutant Black Emperor. The mutant Black Emperor said unhappily. What's wrong with the villain? It's like you are a good person, Uchiha Madara. Besides, don't underestimate me. Senju Hashirama, you may not be my opponent. Senju Hashirama smirked and said, it doesn't matter, just hit, May 4-3, and I'll know. I also want to know what the strength of everyone in the chat group is. Although we have learned from each other, we were not in a normal state at that time. Uchiha Madara said sharply, Hasalama, is your current state different from before? Senju Hashirama replied, maybe it is the power of the reincarnation space. I feel no different from being alive now. But I can feel that if I die, I should be recycled by the chat group system. Howard Stark smiled and said, don't waste time here, hurry up and find trouble with the mutant Black Emperor. Your current state should also be injured and finished? Senju Hashirama replied, that's right, this state is perfect, and the state of not dying and not hurting makes people uncomfortable. Uchiha Madara complained, your physique is so strong, you should be the most adaptable to the immortal body, right? The mutant Black Emperor hummed, although your mission is to kill me in that world, I will not confuse myself with that person. Since you want to see my true power, then I will fulfill your wish. Senju Hashirama was surprised, you want to help me? The mutant Hei Huang said angrily, or else. Without my help, when will you find me? When I was alive, my whereabouts were always mysterious. Senju Hashirama smiled and said, it makes sense, so please tell me where you are. Mutant Black Emperor. You first find out the time on your side, and then I can tell you where I was during that time. In addition, I can remind you that I was never alone when I was alive. Uchiha Madara said dissatisfied. That means, you still have powerful helpers by your side? This is not acceptable, it violates the fairness of the battle. Senju Hashirama said unconcernedly, it's okay, I'll find a way to get rid of the mutant Black Emperor's subordinates first, and then fight him fairly. The mutant Black Emperor sneered. I hope so, but I think the possibility of your success is very small, after all, neither I nor my subordinates are vegetarians. Do you want to solve my subordinates? Don't be solved by me and my subordinates. That's good. Sun God World. While watching the situation on Senju Hashirama's side, Li Zan watched the battle between Xiao Chen and the Terror God King in the crack of the space in front of him. The two sides met their opponents, and the fight was inseparable, and soon entered the desperate stage. After shopping for a while, both sides entered a state of residual blood. The King of Terror was resigned, and he was ready to escape with a false move. Damn madman. The God King of Terror cursed angrily in his heart. In his opinion, Xiao Chen is a mindless lunatic. If Xiao Chen wasn't a lunatic, how could he have fought bloody battles with him without hesitation? The God King of Terror was worried that he would fight again, and a mistake was really confessed here. He managed to escape from the repressive seal of the 10,000 years, and he hasn't had time to feel the air of freedom. How can he die here with others? Compared with his life, the dignity of the God King is nothing. Pung. The terrifying God King, who was about to rush out of this independent space with a false move, slammed into the space barrier in front of him. Damn it. The Horror God King was shocked and angry, and this space was actually manipulated. Die to death. Seeing that the King of Terror was blocked by the space barrier, Xiao Chen carried his bloody axe and killed him without saying a word. Yes, Xiao Chen is about to break through. It seems that the bloodline power you gave him is still very useful. Increased his potential and improved his training speed. Li Zan looked at Xiao Chen's performance and nodded with satisfaction. Xiao Zan smiled and said, "When I entered the tomb with him, I collected some energy cores. I sealed those energy cores in his body, which can be used as resources for his breakthrough." Li Zan shook his head and said, "I saw the energy that could be sealed in his body. The lack of energy made him break through immediately. Forget it, give him a hand." Li Zan flipped the palm of his hand, and the immortal monument appeared. He was beaten out by his palm, and it turned into a streamer and entered Xiao Chen's body. In an instant, Xiao Chen's momentum skyrocketed, and the energy core in his body shattered instantly, turning into a huge energy to help him break through. Xiao Chen, who broke through in an instant, screamed in the sky, and the big axe in his hand fell unceremoniously. Immortal monument. The Terror God King screamed. What he hated most was this immortal monument that almost refined him. The appearance of the immortal monument triggered the formation in the independent space, and the overwhelming force suppressed the past against the terrifying God King. The blood-colored axe divided the terrifying God King into two parts, and the immortal monument suppressed it. Strong rays of light erupted from the immortal monument, constantly turning the body of the terrifying God King into vitality. The flesh and blood of the God of Terror is very magical and can act as the energy for promotion. Absorb these vitality, and they can replace the immortal monument as your power. The immortal monument is part of the King of Artifacts and cannot be given to you. Li Zan's voice lingered. Xiao Chen sat down with his knees crossed, and worked hard to refine the body of the terrifying God King. In the chat group, the mutant Black Emperor, who had determined the time, figured out where he was at that time, and then told Senju Hashirama this information, and asked him to quickly fight against himself in that world. Senju Tobarama suggested, "Brother, I think you can go to Charles and Eric for help. The other Black Emperors have their own helpers, and you can also find your own helpers." The mutant Black Emperor disdainfully said, "You want Charles, Eric and help to block my subordinates? Stop dreaming. They are not subordinates of Senju Hashirama. Why should they obey Senju Hashirama's orders?" Senju Hashirama. "That's right. Eric's hatred for the mutant Black Emperor is so deep, I can't cooperate with him. Otherwise, when he sees the mutant Black Emperor, he will definitely kill him by any means possible." Li Zan. "This does need attention. After all, Senju Hashirama's mission is to kill the Black Emperor for Magneto. If the Black Emperor dies at the hands of Magneto, then Senju Hashirama's mission can be declared a failure." Senju Hashirama said optimistically, "Don't worry, I can handle it by myself. But I don't know the way, it may take some time to find the Black Emperor." Li Zan said unhappily, "When you find them, the daylily will be cold. Wait, I will send a clone to assist you." The mutant Black Emperor stunned. "Master, your avatar won't help Senju Hashirama deal with me, will it?" Li Zan laughed. "Don't worry, my clone will only take him on his way, and he will disappear when he arrives at the place." Senju Hashirama, do you go straight up or develop tactics after scouting the intelligence? Senju Hashirama pondered. After investigating the intelligence, I will formulate tactics. I didn't do this kind of thing many years ago, so let's go straight to it. The mutant He Huang felt that he was underestimated, and snorted coldly. "So arrogant? Then you have to be careful." Senju Hashirama reluctantly said, "I don't know much about this world, and after reconnaissance intelligence to formulate tactics or something, this method is not suitable for use here." Uchiha Madara said with a smile, "Hasi 3.7 Rama is not a fool, don't be weak by his carefree personality. When we were climbing a cliff in our competition, he pretended to be lost and grabbed the first move, and I have recognized it since then, a little." Sword God Ryoma. "How about the other reincarnators? I also received a mission, but my mission is a bit boring. Go to the pirate world to defeat Mihawk, the Hawkeye, and win the title of the world's largest swordsman." Ghost Lantern Wanyue. "I haven't made a move here yet, but it doesn't matter. There are too many good things in Samsara Mall, and it's even more troublesome to match each other, so let me think about it if you have time." Mutant Black Emperor. "I don't have any movement here. It's better to wait until I finish watching Senju Hashirama's battle with another me before starting the mission. Damn. My mission has appeared. Go to the world of Thor 3 to protect Thor's eyes. Uchiha Madara. I haven't seen a mission yet, but I feel it should be soon. We entered the reincarnation space at about the same time, and the time for the first mission to appear will not be too different. Senju Hashirama. I found the mutant Black Emperor and they are going. Senju Hashirama from the outside world looked excited, watching the cruise ship parked in the port in front of him clasping his hands together, the wooden road, the birth of the tree world. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 273. Would you like to try it? Senju Hashirama is a scene man. When he shoots, it is a big scene. The roots of plants soaring into the sky filled the harbor and directly lifted the cruise ship where the mutants Black Emperor and the others were. What happened? In the cruise ship, the ground was shaking, and the lights above the cabin were flickering, and the mutants, the Black Emperor, who were drinking and having fun, were shocked. Without saying a word, the Red Devil hurriedly held hands with the others and led them out of here by teleportation. Out? Senju Hashirama's eyes narrowed, looking at the Red Devil and the others who suddenly appeared in front of him. A powerful aura bloomed from his body, and he looked at the Red Devil and the others with murderous eyes. Who are you? The local Black Emperor looked at Senju Hashirama with interest, and then at Senju Hashirama's masterpiece using plant roots to lift the cruise ship, and couldn't help but sigh. Is this your mutant ability? Really powerful ability? The White Queen stared at Senju Hashirama, and without a word, used her telepathic powers to control Senju Hashirama. Just now, she was almost wiped out by Senju Hashirama on the cruise ship. The White Queen was very angry, and couldn't help but want to take revenge and go back. Humph! Senju Hashirama snorted coldly, and a powerful chakra erupted from his body, forcibly preventing the control interference of the White Queen's psionic power. Senju Hashirama, as the god of ninjas, naturally relies not only on the 15 sages and wood style. His good friend and nemesis Uchiha Madara once commented on him, saying that all his ninjutsu skills are unmatched. As a super sturdy man who can be tough with Mangekyo Sharingan, Senju Hashirama naturally has no shortcomings in illusion. His mental power is very strong, so he can withstand most mental attacks. It seems that your abilities are useless. The local Black Emperor smiled and said to the White Queen, and then put his hand on the Red Devil. Let's go. The Red Devil smiled slightly, moved with the local Black Emperor, and appeared beside Senju Hashirama in an instant. The local Black Emperor opened his arms, directly hugged Senju Hashirama, and said with a smile, "So you can't do anything, right?" In the chat group, Uchiha Madara said unhappily, "The mutant Black Emperor, what are you doing? You shouldn't think that you can defeat Hashirama this way. Don't be funny." Li Zan said solemnly, "That's right, Hasalama is Madara's reason. Do you want to win the love of the mutant Black Emperor? I warn you, you will not have good results by doing this." Howard Stark. That's right. In Senju Hashirama's heart, younger brothers and friends have occupied too many places. No matter how much you are interested in him, there will be no good results. The mutant He Huang said with a tired heart. Don't talk nonsense there, okay? In the virtual world, I'm just using my abilities reasonably. Don't forget, my mutant ability is energy absorption. Senju Tobarama suddenly said, if this is the case, I seem to understand the intention of the virtual Black Emperor. If the eldest brother trapped by him wants to break free, his strength will be absorbed by him, making the eldest brother unable to escape. The mutant Black Emperor said proudly, not only that, if I use strength to squeeze Senju Hashirama, the reaction force will also be absorbed by me. Understand? My mutant abilities are quite terrifying. Howard Stark said in amazement. When you squeeze others, you will also receive the reaction force yourself, and you can absorb this reaction force yourself. Does this mean that when you use close combat, you can transform a perpetual motion machine? Mutant Black Emperor. It's not that exaggerated, after all, my opponent can choose to dodge, but in a situation like Senju Hashirama controlled by me, he can't dodge my power. The power I exert on him will return a lot, into my body. Lucy pondered. Isn't this the perpetual motion machine that the motor and the generator form a cycle? As far as I know, this is not true, because the power will inevitably cause loss in the process of transmission. The mutant Black Emperor smiled and said, how is the power lost? Of course it is the loss of resistance, such as air friction. Then the question is, who bears the reaction force of air friction? Lu Xing said speechlessly. Well, this is really an incomprehensible ability. Senju Hashirama. Can your mutant abilities absorb chakra? Mutant Black Emperor. I don't know, why don't you try it? Senju Hashirama. Great idea. Senju Hashirama of the virtual world shouted, and the mighty chakra spewed out of him, trying to repel the native Black Emperor who had trapped him. What kind of energy is this? It's a little fresh, but it doesn't feel like that. The local Black Emperor looked at the chakra spewing out of Senju Hashirama, and absorbed them with his mutant abilities without saying a word. Good. After absorbing this energy from you, I feel my body and spirit are strengthened. The local Black Emperor looked at Senju Hashirama in surprise, and thought of using Senju Hashirama as a power bank. Senju Hashirama reluctantly spoke in the chat group. The ability of the mutant Black Emperor is really powerful, even chakra can absorb it. The mutant Black Emperor sneered. What's so strange about this? I can even absorb nuclear energy and kinetic energy. What's so special about your chakra? If you still have hidden means, hurry up and use them, or wait for another one. Dead. Uchiha Madara said, Hashirama, where's your illusion? The mutant Black Emperor's weakness is mental attack. Use illusion to control him. Mutant Black Emperor. It's useless. Ninjas need a seal to use ninjutsu, right? Senju Hashirama doesn't need a seal, but he needs to put his hands together every time he uses ninjutsu. But now his hands are separated, and his arms are covered by me. He couldn't put his hands together when he was bound. Senju Hashirama. Juyin is the same as folded hands, both are auxiliary means of performing arts. Even if I don't have hands, I can use ninjutsu, but the speed of performing the arts will be slower, because it's the most effective means. Senju Hashirama. If I go one step further to the master of the art, I can use my ninjutsu perfectly by moving my fingers, which is as perfect as using both hands to form a seal. Of course, I can also use my fingers to release illusion now. The Senju Hashirama in the virtual world perfectly demonstrates the abilities of the god of ninjas. Uchiha Itachi can perform illusions with his fingers, and Senju Hashirama, the god of ninjas, can of course. It's a pity that his illusions didn't work, because there was a white queen with psionic power in front of him. He wants to control you with his psychic abilities. The white queen stretched out her hand to hold her forehead, stared at Senju Hashirama and said, his psionic power is very powerful, but I can still stop it. The local Black Emperor was surprised. He still has psionic powers? It's perfect. It seems that he is a mutant with multiple abilities, just like you. The local Black Emperor looked at Senju Hashirama and asked with a smile, would you like to join us? We are fellow mutants. Cooperate with me and let us dominate the world together? Senju Hashirama sighed. Your mutant ability is really strong, but it's not that I don't have the means to deal with it. Get ready, I'm going to do it. As Senju Hashirama's voice fell, the land behind the local Black Emperor suddenly shattered, and huge and sturdy plant roots rose into the sky. Hey! A tenacious plant root system suddenly appeared, slammed around the ankle of the native Black Emperor, and used him to the sky with a single force. Interesting. You think you can get rid of me this way? Naive goodbye. The local Black Emperor held Senju Hashirama tightly, and the two were used to the sky by the roots of the plant, and then 543 hit the ground heavily. It's useless. Even if you throw me out of space, I won't drop a single hair, because all the impact will be absorbed by me. The local Black Emperor and Senju Hashirama fell to the ground together. After he absorbed the impact of the two fell to the ground like chicken feathers without the slightest impact on the ground. Quack! Two more plant roots flew over and wrapped around Senju Hashirama's body, trying to pull Senju Hashirama away from the arms of the native Black Emperor. You don't know how good my ability is, so surrender now. The local Black Emperor didn't care, and he was not strict with his own ability to absorb energy. After absorbing so much energy, he has become a Superman. You really are a candy cane guy. Senju Hashirama is a little helpless. He has to admit that the ability of the mutant Black Emperor is particularly dependent. Fortunately, his title of the god of ninjas is not a vain name. Any skill is limited by distance. Do you think that woman can still prevent me from disturbing you with mental power? After Senju Hashirama and the local Black Emperor were thrown into the sky together by the plant root system, Senju Hashirama said something in a low tone, which made the local Black Emperor's face change greatly. The next moment, a powerful spiritual force invaded his mind. Senju Hashirama's illusion took effect, and the native Black Emperor released the arm that grabbed Senju Hashirama. Sage Art. The free Senju Hashirama entered Sage mode without saying a word, and then endless plant roots surged out of the earth, flooding their battlefield in an instant. Birth of the Flower and Tree World. With the blessing of Shanshu Chakra, the flower tree world in Shanshu mode is several times stronger than the ordinary mode, and the torrent-like plant roots are strangling wildly against the mutant Black Emperor and his subordinates. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 274. I wish you all the best. After the local Black Emperor was controlled by illusion, his energy-absorbing skills could not be used. The surging sharp vines pierced his body at once. Not good. The Red Devil who saw this scene was horrified, but now he was unable to protect himself, and the overwhelming plant roots surrounded him. The White Queen was wrapped into a large leather by the dense plant roots. Fortunately, she has the ability to diamondize her body to protect herself. The rest of the native Black Emperor's minions were even worse, and Senju Hashirama wiped them all out with a single ult. In the chat group, the mutant Black Emperor sighed. What a pity. If the White Queen and the Red Devil were more sensitive, they wouldn't have lost so badly. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. Don't be stupid. Although your abilities are weird, Haselama's means are much richer than yours. No matter how hard you struggle, you can't be Haselama's opponent. Senju Tobarama said speechlessly, brother, what did you think? You could have avoided your embarrassing encounter before. Although the Red Devil's teleportation ability is strong, the Black Emperor's movements to hug you are not agile enough. Ghost Lantern Wanyu joked. It seems that our ninja god is empathetic. He fell in love with the mutant Black Emperor, so he couldn't avoid him. At Uchiha Madara, is there any a feeling of being betrayed? Uchiha Madara said with a black face. Go away. I bet Hashirama's brain twitched and was trapped by him trying to experience the power of the Black Emperor. Senju Hashirama smirked and said, "Hey Salama, you still know me. My task is completed, and the reward is 100 reincarnation coins." The mutant He Huang said speechlessly, "The reward is a bit low. Even a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan costs 3,000 reincarnation coins, but my subordinates and I only have 100 reincarnation coins. This is too unfriendly to reincarnations." Senju Tobarama also said something different. "Yeah. For such a difficult task, the reward is so small. It's unreasonable." Li Zan. It's not that the remuneration of the reincarnation space is unreasonable, but Senju Hashirama's personal situation is unreasonable. There is no rule in the reincarnation space. The reincarnation must use the method of frontal combat to defeat the Black Emperor and the others. Li Zan. Not to mention that there are also Charles and Eric in that world, and two superpowers who are not very friendly to mutants. The way other reincarnators complete this task is definitely to grab the head, not to kill the Black Emperor single-handedly them. Senju Hashirama pondered. Grab the head. The leader of the group means, let me use the strength of the two superpowers and Charles to deal with the Black Emperor, and then kill the Black Emperor before he dies. Li Zan. That's right. Your mission is to ensure that the Black Emperor is dead in your hands, it doesn't matter what state he is in. You can even poison him, as long as you can kill him, you don't have to use force to crush him head-on. Press the female. Mutant Black Emperor. Understood. It seems that my mission is to protect Thor's eyes, and it doesn't matter whether he is seriously injured or not. Is that so? Li Zan. Correct answer. The Mutant Black Emperor. That's good. The Goddess of Death here is also a powerful character, even I have no absolute certainty to defeat him. I thought my mission was to protect Thor from blindness. Help him defeat Hela. The difficulty of this task is not ordinary. Li Zan. How far is the plot on your side? The Mutant Black Emperor. I met the Hulk and Thor on a planet in the universe, and the reincarnation space arranged for me the identity of a wandering Asgard warrior. I learned from Thor's mouth that Hela's condition. Li Zan said with a smile. Yes. It seems that Thor's Meow Hammer has been crushed by Hela, and he is about to stimulate his Thor power. The Mutant Black Emperor said helplessly. Thunder God is afraid of electricity, and I am helpless when I see this scene. It is worth mentioning that the Thor of the world is more funny than the Thor of my world. But compared to that Thor here seems to be much weaker. Mutant Black Emperor. Parallel worlds are not exactly the same. It is normal for the same person in different worlds to be different in many ways. How are you going to complete your mission? Mutant Black King. I plan to protect Thor, my ability should be able to block Hela. In addition, I also know how to defeat Hela, using eternal fire to resurrect the flame that destroyed Asgard in the Prophecy Giant, right? I remember that the group leader once said. Li Zan. It doesn't have to be so troublesome at all, you don't even need to pay attention to Thor. Wouldn't it be fine to just go to Asgard to resurrect that flame giant? As long as Hela is finished, Thor's eyes will be kept. Mutant Black Emperor. Won't this have bad consequences? Li Zan. What's the consequence? The refugees from Asgard can't escape, or Thor can't master his own Thor power. Don't forget, your world is a virtual world created by the reincarnation space. The Mutant Black Emperor suddenly said, it makes sense. Li Zan. You have to turn your mind around, you don't need to look ahead to the virtual characters. As long as you can complete your mission, it doesn't matter if you destroy that world, because it is a fake world. Mutant Black Emperor. I get it. Sword God Ryoma. Are their tasks are easier, I can't do it. In order to get the title of the world's largest swordsman, I must use my strength to defeat Mahawk, the Eagle Eye. I have been in this virtual world for a while, but I haven't even seen Mahawk's face. Whitebeard. Goo la 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 la. That's the way the little kid Mahawk is, he's just wandering around in his own boat and it's hard to pinpoint his location. But the redhead Shanks should have his phone number in his hand, you can check out Red Hair Pirates. Whitebeard. Of course, Red Hair Pirates and Hawkeye Mahawk are a virtue, they are both guys who like to roam the sea. If you can't find Red Hair Pirates, you can go to Naval Headquarters and ask for Hawkeye Mahawk's phone number. Quote. Shiki the Golden Lion laughed and said, Zoohahaha. Force Naval Headquarters to hand over the phone number of 7 warlords of the sea. This operation is fine. Whitebeard, are you trying to kill Ryoma? One Piece Roger. Shiki, why are you full of fighting and killing? If you want to get the phone number of 7 warlords of the sea from Naval Headquarters, you don't have to use confrontation. Senju Tobarama. Sword God Ryoma is also the best in the pirate world. If he is willing to join Marine will definitely be willing to give him Mahawk's phone number. Sword God Ryoma hesitantly said. Naval Headquarters, is it so easy to believe me? Li Zan laughed. You can create a character for yourself, a swordsman who will do whatever it takes to pursue the pinnacle of kendo. You tell Naval Headquarters that as long as they are willing to give you Mihawk's contact information, you are willing to join Marine. Or do Marine a few favors. Fisher Tiger. In exchange for a human touch for Mihawk's contact information. This is a way to gain more trust from Marine than directly joining Marine. Lee Zahn. Of course, there is a more direct way on my side. You go directly to the World Economic News and challenge the newspaper like Hawkeye Mihawk. Hawkeye Mihawk, as the world's largest swordsman, will never fear of challenges from others. Lee Zahn. Of course, before you challenge Hawkeye Mihawk with newspapers, you'd better make a name for yourself in the ocean. There is still a high possibility that Hawkeye Mihawk will ignore the challenge initiated by an unknown person. Ghost Lantern Wanyu suddenly said, "My mission is out, let me go to the world of Wolverine, Wolf 1, and destroy the transformed Deadpool." Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. "My mission has also appeared, let me go to the world of Deadpool 2 inches and help Deadpool save Russell." Lee Zahn said speechlessly, "Wow. You both have encountered a relatively bad mission. I hope you all go well. Turn on the live broadcast and let me notice the progress of your mission, Lee Hao." The second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon came to a huge experimental base, and a man with a particularly handsome appearance appeared in front of him. The man's mouth was sewn up, and his body was full of scars that had been transformed by surgery. The man calmly glanced at Ghost Lantern Wanyu, who appeared suddenly, and as soon as his body moved, he appeared behind Ghost Lantern Wanyu, and punched Gillen Wanyu unceremoniously. In the chat group, Lee Zahn smiled and said, "Your luck is really bad enough, you met Deadpool as soon as you came up. Ghost Lantern, your mission is to destroy him." While fighting with Deadpool, Ghost Lantern said speechlessly, "This is too unfortunate, isn't it? I never thought that like Senju Hashirama, I would directly use my strength to complete the task. If there is power that can be used in this world, I will not be polite." Lee Zahn. The world does have powers that can help you, but you'd better not expect too much from them. If you can, kill Deadpool yourself. Senju Hashirama smiled and said, "Ghost Lantern Moon, since the group owner has said so, then you should not think about using other powers. We are different from other reincarnations, and we ourselves lack sufficient understanding of the task world. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running." Chapter 275. Don't worry about the follow-up effects. In the original plot, Deadpool with multiple abilities was killed by Wolverine and Saber-Toothed Tiger together. Lee Zahn didn't understand this result. How could Deadpool with teleportation ability be killed so easily? What's more, there is Wolverine's self-healing factor in Deadpool, Wolverine's red-hot steel claw. Shouldn't kill him. After serious thinking, Lee Zahn decided that Deadpool was killed by Wolverine as a plot necessity. If Ghost Lantern Moon wants to repeat this plot kill, it is basically impossible. Because it is the task of Ghost Lantern Moon to eliminate Deadpool, and the requirement of plot killing is done by the protagonist of Wolverine. If Ghost Lantern and Wanyu used Wolverine's hand to kill Deadpool, Samsara Space would not necessarily approve of his actions. Virtual reality. Ghost Lantern Wanyu fought fiercely with Dead Servant and was quickly suppressed by Dead Servant. His proud water-style ninjutsu could not play its due effect in the face of Deadpool. Water cannon technique. Ghost Lantern Wanyu used his right hand to compare a 8 and shot at Deadpool. A liquid bullet penetrated Deadpool's body. Puff. Deadpool's body was easily pierced by water drop bullets, but it had no effect. I saw Dead Servant's body squirming, and the wound just hit by Ghost Lantern Wanyu healed quickly. In the chat group, Senju Tobarama exclaimed, "Is this guy's self-healing ability so terrifying? It feels like the Big Brother's sage body." Lee Zahn. Deadpool's self-healing factor comes from Wolverine, which is much better than your elder brother in terms of life-saving and self-healing. Senju Hashirama said in surprise, "No way." Lee Zahn snorted. "Nothing will not. You will die if you are beheaded, but Wolverine will not. His self-healing factor is more terrible than you can imagine, even if there is only one cell left, it can recover." Ghost Lantern Wanyu said frantically, "Then am I miserable? I don't have the means to destroy it together with the cells." Opponent. Uchiha Shisui. Then your move is definitely useless, the heat burn will definitely be recovered by the opponent's self-healing ability. Ghost Lantern Moon. If I had second Tsuchikage. No, that bastard's dust pass, I would definitely be able to get rid of this guy with super self-healing ability. Lord Group, how do you think I should get rid of this guy? Quote. Howard Tucker. I have an idea. Can you control him? If you can control him, consider destroying him with chemicals. Mutant Black Emperor. A liquid with strong acid and strong alkali. This is indeed a good way to deal with the undead body. Throwing the undead body in here and soaking it will destroy his cells completely sooner or later. Tohsaka Tokiomi. How about the nuclear bomb? Lee Zahn. If you put it in the center of the explosion, it should work. Ghost Lantern Wanyu said helplessly. These methods are too difficult for me, is there anything simpler? Lee Zahn. Yes, you wait, I'll give you a piece of equipment. Ghost Lantern Wanyu asked curiously, what equipment? Lee Zahn. A scroll that seals the dust escape ninjutsu, do you want it? Ghost Lantern said happily. This is exactly what I need. Whether it's chemicals or nuclear bombs, these proposals don't look good to Ghost Lantern. Because as a native of the ninja world, Ghost Lantern is completely unfamiliar with these things. And Shentong is different. Although it is the trick of his mortal enemy, it is also a magical skill in his hometown. What's more, Guidong Wanyu's understanding of Shentong is only BFDH, second to second Tsuchikage Wu and third Tsuchikage Onodi, the two Dust Pass owners. There is a saying that the person who knows you best may not be you, but your enemy. As the nemesis of the owner of Shentong, Ghost Lantern Wanyu has made great efforts in the research of Shendao. Li Zan made a dust scroll and gave it to one of his clones, and asked him to send it to Ghost Lantern. Waterway. Mist Shinobi Technique. Shutung. Sticky Water Technique. The Ghost Lantern Genyu who got the seal scroll resolutely used two water-style ninjutsu controls. The Mist Shinobi technique creates a huge mist, blocking Deadpool's vision. The glue-like liquid slipped under his feet, preventing him from using teleportation to escape. Although the glue-like liquid couldn't stick to Deadpool for a long time, a few breaths were enough. Ghost Lantern Wanyu tore the seal scroll, dazzling dust and white light bloomed, and the mist in front of him, together with the Deadpool inside, was smashed into a molecular form, completely disappearing into nothingness. In the chat group, Ghost Lantern Moon, mission completed. Lord, why am I assigned such a difficult mission? If Senju Hashirama's mission is to use indigenous power, then my mission is completely unreasonable. Senju Hashirama echoed. Yes. Without professional means, it is impossible to destroy this self-healing monster. Howard Stark. Why not? The two suggestions we made, chemicals and nuclear bombs, are the means to solve Deadpool. Senju Tobarama questioned. A newcomer who has just entered the reincarnation space, even if he has such a means to destroy Deadpool, he can't use it. After all, Deadpool can't be honestly placed in the center of the nuclear bomb explosion and in chemicals. Li Zan. There is a way. Ghost Lantern Wanyu faced this Deadpool and was controlled by someone. Find the computer that can control him, and you can control his behavior. Ghost Lantern Wanyu. So it turns out, this is how normal reincarnations solve Deadpool. But this is obviously a large base, and normal reincarnations must have enough strength to do this, right? Li Zan. That's right. It seems that Samsara also considered your own strengths when assigning tasks to you. At Uchiha Madara, how is the situation on your side? Uchiha Madara. I have found Deadpool, but the Deadpool in my world is a bit different from the Deadpool in the Ghost Lantern world. Fortunately, there is a reminder of the reincarnation space, otherwise it would be really difficult to determine a person's identity. Li Zan. It's normal for the same person in different worlds to have differences. You open the live broadcast to get in touch with him. Deadpool is a little different. I want to see how he reacts when he sees you. Uchiha Madara. Good. After opening the live broadcast, Uchiha Madara came to Deadpool. Deadpool was surprised when he saw Uchiha Madara, and couldn't help asking, Uchiha Madara. Are you playing cosplay, or is Uchiha Madara from Hokage world messing into my world? Quote. In the chat group, Uchiha Madara stunned. What's going on with Deadpool? Li Zan. Have I told you before? Everything that happens in your world seems to some worlds to be a comic story. Deadpool knows your world exists, but he sees his world and your world as he thinks your worlds are created by comic book writers. Uchiha Madara sneered. Is there a problem with this view? The same manga is created by different authors in different worlds. But the content they create is exactly the same, then the question arises, who is the creator? People of the world. Li Zan. You can use this theory to convince him and let him know that his world is not virtual. No, the world he lives in is indeed a virtual world. No way, he was created by the reincarnation space based on the real world. Uchiha Madara hummed. I have no interest in enlightening others, and I have no talent for this. Senju Tobarama hummed. Yeah, it's okay to let Madara be the mastermind behind the scenes, but it's not that easy to let him open other people's hearts. Senju Hashirama. Okay. Since Madara doesn't want to help Deadpool open his heart, the master should tell him how to complete the mission. We reincarnations don't know the plot, and it is very difficult to do the mission. Li Zan. The world Madara lives in is a world where mutants exist, but mutants are discriminated against and oppressed in that world. There is a little fat man named Russell who has the ability to create high temperatures. He has suffered from ordinary life since he was a child. Human abuse. Li Zan. After going through a series of events, he decided to change himself, kill the orphanage who abused him, and then be a bastard who will kill anyone who doesn't like it. Madara's job is to stop him from changing. Deadpool in the virtual world is still chattering. Why did you enter my world? Do you know that it is very impolite to enter without saying hello? You need copyright to enter other people's worlds. You have bought it before. Copyright. Uchiha Madara in the chat group said helplessly, do I need to bring this guy to complete the mission? I really want to get rid of him now. Now I finally know why Deadpool will be sown in the mission world experienced by Ghost Lantern Moon. On the mouth. Li Zan laughed. That guy's chattering attributes are very serious, and the person who transformed him can't stand it. You can use illusion to control him. This Deadpool is far less powerful than Ghost Lantern in the Moonlight world. That dead servant. Uchiha Madara smiled and said, good idea. Where is that Russell? I'll go and educate him. Senju Hashirama. What are you going to do? Uchiha Madara. I'm not good at persuading people, so I'm going to try using illusions. If it doesn't work, then give it a shot. Uchiha Madara said that what he is good at is physical persuasion. Irisville. Is it a little bad to do this? According to the group owner, the child decided to change because he couldn't stand the abuse of others. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. Okay. In order to strengthen his persuasion, I can help him avenge his blood and hatred. Of course, that's all. I believe that beatings will change a person. He doesn't want to act according to his own will, think kill whoever you kill. I just let him feel the price of wanton behavior in advance. Uchiha Madara. What's more, this world is just a virtual world, as long as you complete the task, you don't need to worry about the follow-up effects. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 276, A Completely Manipulated Life. Sun God World. Li Zan brought Xiaozan and Xiao Chen to the sky of the Dakion world, and the endless love of the wind and the clear air formed the sky of the Dakion world. The violent wind made Xiao Chen, a 7-star fighting saint, a little bit unbearable. Thanks to Li Zan's shot, he was allowed to move freely here. The sky in the Yangshan world is somewhat similar to the sky in the Doqi world. Xiaozan said with a sigh of relief, saying that he had also explored the top of the sky in the world of Doqi when he was alive. The sky in the world of Doqi is a thick space barrier that crosses the endless fresh air and wind. I tried to break that space barrier, but it didn't work. The defense of that space barrier is beyond my imagination. I'm afraid that only when it reaches the level of Dodi, can I break that space barrier and go to a higher plane. Li Zan said indifferently. There may be space barriers in the Yangshan world, but there are absolutely no space barriers in the Dakion world. I didn't bring you here to break through the Dakion world. I'm going to take you to experience the sun and the moon. Xiao Chen was surprised. Is there a master in the sun and the moon? Li Zan smiled and said, of course. Unlike the 4 blood god kings you defeated, the masters of the sun and the moon are in their peak state, and they are one step away from becoming the sun god. And they also have artifacts second only to the gods. Treasure of the king, this is also my goal. Xiaozan nodded and said, indeed. It's a big project to repair the 2 kings of artifacts. If they can dissolve the 2 treasures second only to the kings of artifacts, they should be able to restore them to their most powerful state. Xiao Chen wondered. Lord Li Zan, can I really handle the master of the sun and the moon? I can't bear the environment here before I get close to the sun and the moon. The master who can live in the sun and the moon, the strength must be far beyond me. Li Zan said indifferently. Don't worry. Since I let them be your opponents, I won't make you powerless to resist when facing them. Xiaozan wondered. Master of the group, those masters can survive in the sun and the moon, shouldn't they rely on their own strength? If they are not born and raised near the sun and the moon, it is not easy to survive here for a long time only by their strength. Quote. Li Zan smiled. That's right, they are indeed magical species born from the sun and the moon. In the chat group, Dad. In Eastern mythology, the golden crow and the jade rabbit live in the sun and the moon. Wouldn't this kind of thing also live in the sun and the moon in the world of the sun god? Howard Stark. Master, the sun and moon in the sun god world should be different from the stars, right? Li Zan. Golden crow and jade rabbit can indeed be born in the sun and the moon, but only in the Dakion world. The sun and the moon in the outer world of the sun god are ordinary planets like the sun and the moon in the Marvel world. Mutant Black Emperor. Aren't the sun and moon in Dakion world ordinary planets? Although their size is a bit foul, they shouldn't be beyond the scope of planets, right? Li Zan. It's different. The sun in the Marvel world is a fiery star, and the moon is a dead satellite. Aside from the sun, the moon in the Dakion world in the Yangshan world is a strong cold air. Puck. Howard Stark. Puck. It's really beyond scientific understanding. Dad. Science is not a reliable thing, and many things that have been discovered cannot be explained. Li Zan. The sun and moon of Dakionji are planets formed by the power of the sun and the lunar force, which can illuminate the vast and boundless Dakion world. Their powerful forces cause instability in the surrounding space. Li Zan. There are many spaces of different sizes around the sun and the moon in the world. Those spaces are rich in products, and the masters we are looking for this time also live in those spaces. Howard Tucker. From a scientific point of view, it is mass, not force, that causes space instability. The reason for the emergence of gravitation is also the effect of mass on space. Li Zan. Are you picking on me? Howard Stark. Ha ha ha, I'm talking about the situation in the Marvel world. The situation in the world of Dakion is definitely different from here. Even the sun and the moon are different, not to mention the basic laws of physics. While speaking, Li Zan led Xiaozan and Xiao Chen into a space near the sun. Compared with the outside world, the environment here is much better, and Xiao Chen can easily adapt here without Li Zan's help. Go. Li Zan waved his hand and let Xiaozan and Xiao Chen go out to fight. Xiaozan and Xiao Chen didn't talk nonsense, and they went to the center of the independent space to kill without saying a word. With the power of their souls, they can naturally sense the position of the strong in the independent space. Boom. The war broke out in an instant, and endless flames erupted from a distance. At the same time, a stern scolding sounded in the space. Where did the despicable species come from? How dare you come to my sun temple to find trouble? I don't know whether to live or die. Li Zan shook his head speechlessly. This strong man in the sun is really arrogant. He calls others a despicable species with one mouth. He didn't talk nonsense. He directly waved his hand and released a powerful force to erode this space, wanting to refine this space directly and integrate it into his king of divine artifacts. In the chat group, Man Zan couldn't help but say, Master Group Owner, what are the creatures in this independent space? They seem to despise human beings. I think my character is relatively good, but I still suffer from it. Not their arrogance. Irisville said quietly. You guys came to rob, how good do you want them to be? Xiao Zan said indifferently. The weak eat the strong, this is the unchanging law of the cultivation world. The strong are respected, and the weak are like ants. The world of the sun gods is the same as the world of fighting chi, and it is not wrong for these sun creatures to be robbed by us. Li Zan. That's right. Don't think that these sun creatures are good things. They have also done a lot of murder and treasure hunts. To be precise, the masters of the world of Do Chi and the world of the sun god have all done things such as killing people and stealing treasures. Zheng Qi said helplessly. Cultivators are like beasts in the animal kingdom. It is normal to kill and plunder each other. If killing people and stealing treasures is a fault, it is also the fault of the world, not the fault of one or two practitioners. Howard Stark suddenly asked. Master, do we have a Deadpool in this world? I just checked carefully, and I didn't find that there is a Deadpool among the mutants. Li Zan. Deadpool is an acquired mutant. His mutant gene is transplanted from someone else. Did you find Wolverine? Deadpool became a mutant because his mutant gene was implanted. Howard Stark said with emotion. Wolf, I found the wolf, this is indeed a mutant with super survivability. According to himself, he even endured the high temperature of a nuclear explosion. However, Deadpool is stronger, after all, he has the mutants are more capable. Li Zan said speechlessly. Didn't I give you the technology of the celestial race? With your current technology level, it is not a problem to create a few mutants stronger than Deadpool. Howard Tucker. I'm looking for Deadpool, not because he has multiple abilities. I'm just curious about his state, he sees other worlds, right? Otherwise he wouldn't feel like he lives in a comic. Li Zan. Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson, and his occupation is a mercenary. You can try to find him, but the information is not necessarily accurate. Howard Tucker asked curiously. Is there any time when the information given by the lord of the group is inaccurate? Li Zan. It has nothing to do with my intelligence, but mainly because of Deadpool himself. In addition to seeing other worlds, Deadpool can freely travel through time and space, and even enter other people's worlds. Li Zan. Let me be more specific, Deadpool has changed its past. The world where Uchiha Madara is on a mission is the beginning of Deadpool's journey through time and space. Howard Stark couldn't help but ask. How did he do it? When Uchiha Madara met him, he probably didn't have the ability to travel through time and space. Li Zan. In that world, there was a person from a future mutant named Dian Suo, who brought a time-traveling instrument. Later, this instrument was matched with Deadpool, and there were some wonderful changes. Li Zan. In short, Deadpool gained the ability to travel through time and space. He not only went back to the past to change his own tragedy, but also entered the world that Ghost Lantern Moon experienced. Ghost Lantern said speechlessly. He went to Wolverine for revenge. Fortunately, the world I entered was a virtual world created by the reincarnation space, otherwise I would have to guard against a troublesome Deadpool. Li Zan. Wrong answer. Deadpool didn't seek revenge for Wolverine, he went to kill the ugly self. Uchiha Madara said speechlessly. Ugly. I took off this guy's mask and saw that this guy's face is full of pimples. Although he looks better than Deadpool in the Wolverine 1 world, he doesn't have the right to laugh at him. Li Zan. The cancer cells in Deadpool and the self-healing factor fight each other, causing the disfigurement of Deadpool. I don't know the principle. After all, in the successful case of transplanting the self-healing factor, it will die after calculation. Serving such a person. Li Zan. But when I say Deadpool in Wolverine 1 is ugly, I mean not just his appearance, but also his completely manipulated life. On. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 277 Still brothers cannibalize each other. Senju Hashirama said with emotion. Indeed. For a strong man with a proud heart, being controlled as a puppet is indeed ugly. Senju Tobarama. If that's the case, then there's no need to kill the other self. Can't you help him get rid of it? Li Zan. Who told you that Deadpool is a strong man with a proud heart? He is clearly a shameless bitch. He killed himself in another world, just simply hate him. Li Zan. I hate that he was controlled as a tool, so he helped the other to free himself. Do you think that the transformed Deadpool is still alive? His consciousness has long been wiped out. Li Zan. Deadpool kills another self, and what he kills is just a walking corpse. He doesn't even have the attributes of his own proud words, and Deadpool doesn't recognize that tool person. Howard Stark. The Wolverine in our world has lost his memory. Lord of the group should know about his past, right? Deadpool changed the timeline, didn't it affect the memory of Wolverine to the wolf? Lee Zahn. Who knows? The timeline of the Marvel world is very chaotic. In addition to the fact that Deadpool can change the past, the mutants in the original, May 43 inches in the future also change the past. Do you remember the Sentinel robot thing? Mutant Black Emperor. Remember. If there is no leader of the group, the mutants will be wiped out by the Sentinel robots in the future. In order to solve their own survival crisis, the mutants will use the power of time to change the past. Lee Zahn. But you don't need to worry. Although Deadpool and mutants have the ability to change the past, Wolverine's past is relatively stable. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, can you tell the story of Wolverine? I'm still very interested in him. After all, he has a self-healing ability no less than mine. Lee Zahn. How do you say it? Wolverine was also a child of a wealthy family when he was a child. The family also hired a gardener. He was good friends with the gardener's son Victor. But what he didn't know was that he and Victor were close friends. They're all mutants. Senju Hashirama sighed. Two children who also have mutant genes became good friends. Is this fate? Lee Zahn smiled and said, do you think this is a matter of fate? I can tell you very clearly, you are wrong. This kind of thing has nothing to do with fate, but is closely related to emotions and ethics. Senju Tobarama said speechlessly. Emotions and ethics. When the group owner said so, I suddenly had a bad premonition. This story won't be very bloody, right? Lee Zahn smiled and said, correct answer. This story is really bloody, but it still has some gaps compared with the story of the Hokage world. If you listen carefully, you will find that their story has many similarities with the story of the Hokage world. Uchiha Madara said speechlessly. Master Group Leader, don't sell your shit. What kind of past does Wolverine have? Lee Zahn. When Wolverine was a child, he was playing with Victor one night. Victor's father, the gardener of Wolverine's house, stormed into his house and asked Wolverine and his mother, together follow him away. Uchiha Madara said speechlessly. You won't tell me that Victor's father and Wolverine's father are enemies, right? After the two fathers experienced a duel between life and death, the two children also became enemies of life and death. Lee Zahn. That's your story with Senju Hashirama, not the story of Wolverine and Victor. Victor's father killed Wolverine's father in a dispute, and seeing this scene of Wolverine's wolf inspired his own abilities. He killed Victor's father by growing long bone spurs in the middle of his fingers. Senju Hashirama said speechlessly. Isn't this still the same? Next, Victor, who was stimulated, should also stimulate his abilities, and the two started to fight, right? Lee Zahn. No, a gardener devastated by Wolverine, tell Wolverine before he dies, I'm your father. Otherwise, how could I say that Wolverine's story is about emotions and ethics? Senju Hashirama. Uchiha Madara. Howard Tucker sighed. It was unexpected and reasonable, and this story unfolds like a god. Although Wolverine and Victor lost their father at a young age, although it is pitiful, I think it is Wolverine's father who is even more pitiful. Irisville said speechlessly. The angle of your attention is still so strange. Lord of the group, what happened after Wolverine? Lee Zahn. Wolverine showed his mutant powers and shocked his mother. Wolverine's mother was afraid of Wolverine's changes and called him a monster. Doflamingo smiled strangely. Poor child, the denial from the family is the most sad. Lord of the group, how does Wolverine react to this? Lee Zahn. Wolverine, the wolf couldn't accept what he was facing, and fled from his home like a madman. Victor chased after him and quickly blocked Wolverine's way. Senju Hashirama said with emotion. Did the two fight? It's really fate. They were brothers, but they became enemies because of various things. Lee Zahn. No, you are wrong. Victor did not blame Wolverine, but offered to leave with him. He said that the two are brothers, and brothers should support each other. Shiki the Golden Lion. Gia ha ha ha. Why do I feel that Victor is similar to Uchiha Itachi? It's just not as extreme as Uchiha Itachi. Whitebeard. Victor is also very helpless. After all, Wolverine didn't kill his father on purpose, and Wolverine didn't know the inside story. More importantly, Victor's father probably didn't want to see their brothers remain. One Piece Roger. Whitebeard, you seem to understand them very well. Lee Zahn. Whitebeard was attacked and stabbed by his own son during Summit War. The situation he encountered was somewhat similar to that of Victor's father, so he made this statement. Whitebeard. That's right, I've been in a similar situation with Victor's dad, so I can understand his feelings. Our stupid sons didn't mean to make mistakes, and the last thing we want to see is brotherhood. Quote. Howard Stark. And then, what happened to Wolverine and Victor after they left? Lee Zahn. As I said before, Victor is also a mutant, maybe because the two are related by blood and their abilities are very similar. Self-healing. Victor Kong and Wolf both have the ability to heal themselves. Quote. Lee Zahn. Their self-healing ability is so exaggerated that it can even be said that they cannot be killed. They joined the army and squandered their youth on the battlefield. With their strong vitality, they are like a duck to water in the army. Li Zan. Then the two made a big mistake in the army and were ordered to be shot by the army chief. However, their vitality and self-healing power were so terrifying that the army didn't even have the ability to kill them. Uchiha Madara smiled and said, "Hey Salama, it seems that both Wolverine and Victor have stronger self-healing abilities than you. At least, your sage body will die if you kill it." Senju Hashirama refused to accept. What kind of attack did Wolverine and Victor encounter? I want to know how strong their self-healing power and vitality are. Senju Tobarama said speechlessly, "Brother, your memory is too bad. I remember that the group leader once said that they can recover as long as they have only one cell left." Senju Hashirama was stunned. Is there such a thing? I don't remember at all. Uchiha Madara couldn't bear to look directly. Hey Salama, don't show your IQ here, okay? Although everyone knows you're stupid. Li Zan laughed. This is also one of Senju Hashirama's strengths, and his poor memory is also an advantage. Even if he encounters a defeat, he can recover quickly and continue to fight with a full spirit. Howard Tucker. Master, what happened to Wolverine and Victor after joining the army? The experimental base in Wolverine 1 looks like a research base dedicated to the military. Li Zan. Correct answer. The military has an agency specializing in the study of mutants. A colonel named Stryker leads a mutant force. Wolverine and Victor were recruited by Stryker and joined Stryker together. Organization. Li Zan. Later when they were capturing a piece of vibranium, 3.7 Wolverine was dissatisfied with Stryker's brutal behavior, so he withdrew from Stryker's organization, and Victor stayed under the code name of Saber-Toothed Tiger. Quote. Uchiha Madara sighed. Have we parted ways? Lord of the group, why didn't the Saber-Toothed Tiger leave with Wolverine? Li Zan. Because Wolverine and Saber-Toothed Tiger have different personalities, one is kind-hearted, the other is brutal and bloodthirsty. Although they have a good relationship, doing the same thing is a kind of torture for them. Senju Hashirama laughed. If it's just separated, it's nothing. Who stipulated that brothers must stay together? Separation is also their growth, as long as they don't kill each other. Li Zan snorted coldly. That's not necessarily. After Wolverine quit the organization, he found a wife to live in seclusion. Later, Stryker and Saber-Toothed Tiger found him respectively and wanted him to return to the organization, but unfortunately he was rejected. Li Zan. And then, Saber-Toothed Tiger killed Wolverine's wife. Wolverine rushed to take revenge, but was humiliated by Saber-Toothed Tiger. Senju Hashirama said unhappily, how could this happen? In the end, it was brothers who killed each other. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 278, The Father is Kind and the Son is Filial. Uchiha Madara also sighed. Why did this happen? They used to be very good brothers. And between the two of them, there is nothing to destroy their relationship. Howard Stark said speechlessly. Saber-Toothed Tiger killed Wolverine's wife, it seems that it is impossible for the two of them to reconcile. Especially the Saber-Toothed Tiger beat and humiliated the wolf who rushed up to avenge Wolverine. Didn't you take the opportunity to kill Wolverine? Howard Stark. No, Saber-Toothed Tiger and Wolverine both have very strong vitality and self-healing power. Saber-Toothed Tiger should know very well that he can't kill Wolverine. But even if he can't kill Wolverine, he can trap each other. Senju Tobarama. That's right. If only the vitality and self-healing power are strong, but the self-healing power is not strong, the sealing technique can solve this kind of trouble very well. Even if there is no sealing technique in the Marvel world, the sealing method at the physical level should be have it. Howard Stark. The sealing technique at the physical level. Of course there is, there are quite a few I can think of. For example, seal him with cement, or bury him alive with his hands and feet bound, or tie his whole body and throw him into the sea. Among. Li Zan. No, Saber-Toothed Tiger didn't kill Wolverine because he is an alternative Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Shisui stunned. Uchiha Itachi. Could it be that the Saber-Toothed Tiger was persecuted by Stryker and the others and wanted to protect Wolverine in this way? Li Zan. No, Saber-Toothed Tiger just wants Wolverine to come back to him. It's a bit interesting for the brothers 15, and the brothers and sisters coexist. Senju Hashirama was stunned and said, Master Group Leader, are you kidding me? Saber-Toothed Tiger killed Wolverine's wife in order for Wolverine to bring the wolf back to him. I can't understand this logic. Wolverine is determined to avenge the Saber-Toothed Tiger. Li Zan. What if Wolverine's wife was coerced by Stryker, and her death was just a play? Stryker's purpose was Wolverine at the beginning, and he came up with the idea after Wolverine rejected his proposal. The plan for the Saber-Toothed Tiger to act. Howard Stark wondered. What is his purpose in doing this? Li Zan. Experiment. The military used vibranium as a raw material to make a high-strength alloy, Edelman alloy. Stryker wants to inject this alloy liquid into Wolverine's body to strengthen his weapon that can be used as a weapon. Bone Spur. Li Zan. Stryker succeeded. In order to gain power to take revenge on the Saber-Toothed Tiger, Wolverine agreed to Stryker's proposal. He volunteered to participate in the experiment, injected alloy liquid into his body, and his whole bones became Edmund alloy. The bone spurs also turned into Edmund alloy steel claws. Mutant Black King. Why did Stryker give Wolverine the opportunity for this experiment? Especially after he calculated Wolverine, is he not afraid that Wolverine will avenge him after knowing the truth? Li Zan. Edelman alloys are very magical. Once cooled, it is difficult to melt again. To inject the alloy liquid into the living body, the alloy liquid must be kept at a high temperature of several thousand degrees. In Stryker's cognition, it can be completed. Only Wolverine and saber-toothed tiger were tested in this experiment. Senju Tobarama. Compared to Wolverine, isn't the saber-toothed tiger more obedient? Wait, I get it. Because it was the first experiment, Stryker was not sure of success. The saber-toothed tiger was obedient, so he didn't go to be a guinea pig. Quote. Li Zan. Stryker, after the success of the experiment, before Wolverine got off the operating table, he ordered his subordinates to clean up Wolverine's memory, and wanted to make Wolverine his loyal thug. Li Zan. But these words were heard by Wolverine, who woke up in advance, so he rushed off the operating table and out of the experimental base. After another thrilling chase, Wolverine finally returned to the experimental base and followed the victim. Transformed Deadpool fights. Howard Tucker said speechlessly. Deadpool has so many abilities, if there is no Ghost Lantern Moon shot, can Wolverine be able to defeat him? Li Zan. It's theoretically impossible, but Wolverine is the destined son of that world. Shiki, the Golden Lion, said unhappily, it's disgusting. If you can't beat it and let it go, can the world get better? Li Zan. Shiki, look. Every world has the Son of Destiny, and no one can change it. Even in the same world, there are different Sons of Destiny in different eras. For example, Roger and Roger in your world. Luffy, that is the Son of Destiny in the same world, in a different era. Whitebeard laughed and said, Gu la la la. Shiki, you should feel honored. Not everyone has the opportunity to become the life and death enemy of the two Destiny children. Shiki, the Golden Lion, said disdainfully, Whitebeard, who do you think lousy is? How could this boring thing make the old man proud? The old man will only feel remorse and unwillingness, go to his destined son. Howard Stark. If Wolverine defeated Deadpool, why did he lose his memory? Li Zan. Stryker shot his black gun with a special bullet, that kind of bullet can make people lose their memory. Wolverine not only lost his memory, but also his wife died. Although Wolverine is the son of Destiny, but he is a very sad child of Destiny. Howard Stark said speechlessly. Then he is really pitiful. Han Fei. Master Group Leader, I have a question. I have observed these days, and Hong Xuanji seems to have a son named Yi. The child's mother is not simple, Meng Shenji's sister Meng Bingyan. Quote. Li Zan. I know what you want to ask, you guessed it right. That child is the child of Destiny in the future. But now that the Book of Changes has been written by you in advance, his fate has also changed. Han Fei sighed. No matter what, I stole his important opportunity. I want to repay him and bring him out of Hong Xuanji's home. I want him to become my disciple, and I will train him well. Of One Piece Roger said unhappily. Han Fei, what do you mean? If you want to train him, just train him well and take him out of the house. It's not like he has no parents.
Han Fei. This is also something I am very puzzled about. Hong Xuanji treats Meng Bingyun and her children very badly. The two of them are like servants in the Hong family, because Meng Bingyun is just Hong Xuanji's concubine.
Li Zan. Normal. Hong Xuanji's Taoism is reason, and it is also his Tao that a concubine has no status. If he didn't want his Taoism to be broken and his martial arts to stagnate, he wouldn't stop his wife from persecuting Mengbing Micah and his son. Quote. Whitebeard said speechlessly, what the hell is Daoshen? Just because of this, he let his family get hurt. And Hong Xuanji's wife, why did he persecute Mengbing Micah's son? Li Zan said angrily, don't be so naive, okay. How can you, an old pirate and bachelor for decades, understand the open and secret struggle of the Power family? The Golden Lion Shiki pondered. Jia ha ha ha. I seem to understand, the price of preventing family members from hurting each other is not to continue to become stronger.
Whitebeard said dismissively, what's the price? Li Zan shook his head and said, it's not the same. Your strength can no longer be improved, but Hong Xuanji's strength can be brave and diligent. He is a man who is expected to shatter the vacuum. How could he give up martial arts training for love?
Li Zan. What's more, Meng Bingyan's mind is not pure. She seems to have the idea of hindering Hong Xuanji from continuing to grow stronger. Although they also had a heart-to-heart connection and shared life and death. But feelings such as feelings, once they meet interests, they will become entangled. Unclear. Lucy. It's so troublesome. Li Zan. Don't worry. Don't forget, they are all under my control now. When I go back and operate it, let Hong Xuanji change his mind. Zheng Qizi stunned and said, reshaping the Tao heart. This thing is very troublesome, and it is also very risky. Li Zan. It doesn't matter. Anyway, even if I fail, I have nothing to lose.
Righteous. Speechless. Donfang Gayu. Hong Xuanji watched the Son of Destiny being abused for his own strength. Will Hong Xuanji benefit from the rise of the Son of Destiny? Although the Son of Destiny is his son, there is no guarantee that he will take revenge. Li Zan sneered. Get the benefits. What good things do you want? In the original future, Hong Xuanji single-handedly planned the death of Meng Bingyun. The Son of Destiny was suppressed and abused by him since he was a child, and he eventually became an enemy with him.
Whitebeard sighed. This is really a tragedy. How can Hong Xuanji have such a nonsense Taoism? Li Zan said indifferently. Is this nonsense? No, not at all. Pursuing the peak of martial arts is a long and boring process, but there are many interesting things in life. Meng Bingyun's love is interesting to Hong Xuanji. Things which hindered his pursuit of the pinnacle of martial arts. One Piece Roger puzzled. How could it hinder him? Wouldn't it be more motivating to have someone to accompany him? Li Zan said speechlessly. Roger, you take it for granted. Human energy is limited, the time spent with love is long, and the time to pursue martial arts is less. Do you understand when you play with things? For those Ishin who pursues the great way, emotions are a burden, so many people go the ruthless way. Lucky star. Hong Xuanji and Son of Destiny, what is the final result?
Li Zan. Hong Xuanji and Yang Pan pursue order and absolute rule over the people. The Son of Heaven pursues freedom. Their positions, ideas and their personal grievances make them completely hostile. In the end, Yang Pan and Hong Xuanji, if you lose to the Son of Heaven, you will be completely beheaded by the opponent. Howard Tucker said with emotion. This is really a kind and filial piety. Han Fei wondered. Has the Son of Heaven's destiny not caused any bad influence? As far as I know, the etiquette in this world is still very strict. Li Zan. Relax. The Son of Destiny had already dismembered his own body before he did this. He gave up the blood and body that Hong Xuanji gave him, and cut off his connection with Hong Xuanji. The Son of Destiny wanted to be a saint, but naturally he didn't. The handle will remain. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 279 Dad Speaks Justice. In the chat group, Han Fei sighed. The etiquette in this world is very strict, just like the Zhou dynasty in our world. But it is no longer possible, the etiquette in our world has collapsed. Li Zan disdainfully said, the existence of etiquette and law is to maintain the rule of the Zhou dynasty. Now that the Zhou dynasty is gone, isn't it normal for the etiquette and law to collapse? Han Fei. The reason for the collapse of etiquette and law is not entirely the demise of the Zhou dynasty. It is mainly because the princes found that they could gain more benefits by not paying attention to etiquette and law. Han Fei. For example, the most powerful state of Qin, this is a brazen and treacherous state, there is no honesty and etiquette at all, but it is still powerful for the princes to look up to. Li Zan. The decline of the Zhou dynasty is the real reason for the collapse of the etiquette. If the Zhou dynasty still has the power to dominate the world, who would dare not abide by its etiquette? The Yangshan world has strict etiquette, and it is also because the masters pay attention to etiquette. Boom. At this moment, the space where Li Zan was located was directly refined by him with a powerful force, and all the creatures in the space were repelled out. The entire space, together with the countless genius treasures in it, turned into pure vitality and was injected into the eternal kingdom by him. The buildings in the round sky rose from the top of Li Zan's head, releasing a powerful flame of light, and a majesty belonging to the king of artifacts was slowly radiating. After refining this space, the damage of the eternal kingdom was repaired, and the power of the king of artifacts has been restored. On the other side, with the help of Xiao Zan, Xiao Chen, who was rejected, burst out with all his strength to kill the sun creatures. The dead sun creatures turned into pure sun fire, which was directly inhaled by Xiao Chen and refined into his own energy. The powerhouses in this world cultivate their spirit and body. After refining them, it is my soul and body that benefit the most. Compared to the strength of my soul and body, my vindictive chi grows slowly. After refining the huge energy in his body, Xiao Chen opened his eyes and frowned slightly, and said to Xiao Zan and Li Zan who were beside him. Li Zan pouted. Do you think it's easy to be promoted to Do Di? The cultivation system in Do Chi world is divided into 10 major levels and 100 minor levels, and there are bottlenecks in each level. God, is there no bottleneck? Xiao Zan shook his head and said, Xiao Chen, don't worry, to be honest, it's not that difficult for you to be promoted to Do Emperor. Improving your physical energy and soul energy also increases your confidence in being promoted to Do Emperor. Xiao Chen said ashamed. I'm sorry, I was too eager for quick success. Li Zan laughed. After you wipe out those lunar creatures on the moon, I will take you to a place. That place is full of a magical ability that should improve your fighting spirit. Xiao Chen was stunned. Really? Li Zan said indifferently. Of course. Let's go. The strength of those lunar creatures on the moon is no weaker than the strength of these sun creatures. In the chat group, the mutant Black Emperor. It's done. It can be regarded as the task of completing the reincarnation space. This goddess of death, Hela, is really difficult to deal with. Uchiha Madara. The situation on my side is easy to solve. Using illusion and physical persuasion, the two parties who were preparing to make trouble were settled. There is a 7-day rest period after completing the task, right? It's really boring. Senju Hashirama. Who said it wasn't?
Staying in this white room with nothing for 7 days, isn't that boring to death? I'm so bored now that I can only watch the stuff in Samsara Mall to relieve my boredom. Li Zan. Do you think other reincarnations are like you? 7 days is crucial for them. They don't have enough strength, and they will definitely go through a sinister struggle to complete the mission. Li Zan. Without these 7 days to restore their emotions, the continuous brushing tasks will make them nervous. And these 7 days are also for them to organize their harvests, just like summing up their experience after the battle. Howard Stark. More than that. Those reincarnators are different from us. They can become stronger through their own practice. You can't practice in the White Room, and other reincarnations are not like this. Senju Tobarama. When the other Samsara completed their mission, they formed a team, right? Big brother, they're still alone, is it because of their strength? Mutant Black King. Maybe it's because we don't have enough quests to complete, who knows? Li Zan. I still have 5 reincarnation seals in my hand. Who is interested in being a reincarnator? If you are not interested, I can consider giving these reincarnation seals to the living people in your world to use. Senju Tobarama. Let the living use the seal of reincarnation. This is a good idea, just to observe the difference between the use of the living and the use of the undead. But now there is a problem. Those living people are not members of the chat group. Did you observe them? Li Zan. No problem. These reincarnation seals have been modified through the chat group system, and whoever uses it will be monitored by me. Do you have any candidates for reincarnation? Howard Tucker. Master Group Leader. Those living people use the reincarnation seal to enter the mission world. Can you go and support them when they are in danger? Li Zan. Of course. Not only can I watch the live broadcast through Samsara, but I can also locate and travel through Samsara. Howard Stark. Then I recommend my son Tony Stark, such a great opportunity not to be missed. Senju Tobarama. If you have to say that, this is indeed a great opportunity. In this way, I recommend my granddaughter Tsunade. Xiao Zan. Can I recommend Xiao Chen? Reincarnation space is also a good place to improve your strength. Zheng Qizi. I recommend my daughter Tianying, her strength is also very good. Han Fei. I recommend my sister Honglian. Whitebeard. I recommend my sons, anyone will do. Namikaze Minato. So what? Naruto is young, but I think he has the potential to become a reincarnator. Dad. Do you want shame? Don't go too far. Dad, to be fair, my nephew Chen Long is more suitable for the reincarnation job. Thomas Wayne. Let my son Bruce go. Doesn't the owner of the group want to transform him? This is an opportunity. Everyone in the chat group split up and did not hesitate to recommend their close ones. In the case that Li Zan can support at any time, becoming a samsara is a shortcut to become stronger. The golden thief Wu Nan said speechlessly. Aren't you afraid that after they enter the reincarnation space, they will never come back? Senju Tobarama. This is indeed a problem. But the group leader dared to let us enter the reincarnation space, and he should have the ability to pull us back. And the group leader said before that to become a reincarnator in the form of a reincarnation seal is equivalent to being an undercover agent. Thomas Wayne. The undercover can definitely return, isn't it? Lord of the group. Li Zan. Of course. You can develop the use of the reincarnation seal well, and maybe you can find a way to return by yourself. Senju Hashirama. I suddenly have a bad feeling that the group owner doesn't know how to get us back, right? Li Zan. How is that possible? I can take you back directly. Once the reincarnation is printed, you will be freed from the status of reincarnators. Senju Hashirama. Then it will be fine. Li Zan. If you want your relatives and friends to enter the reincarnation space, it's best to let them improve their strength first. There is a good place to improve their strength in the world of Yangshen. Those who are willing to come, hurry up and prepare. Namikaze Minato. How to prepare? Li Zan. It's very simple, don't run around. When I send clones to pick them up, you can easily find them. Senju Tobarama. This is simple, the group owner, when will you pick them up? Li Zan. Come on. The creatures on the moon have been wiped out. Next, I will go to the outer sky to collect the last immortal monument. After this, I will go to that good place to practice. Outside world. Li Zan is playing with a crystal clear glass ball, which is an independent space near the moon where the sun creatures live. After Li Zan refined this space, he transformed it into vitality and injected it into the eternal kingdom and the boat of good fortune. Let's go. Go to Pangsing. With a big wave of his hand, Li Zan took Xiao Zan and Xiao Chen on the side, tore through the space and entered the starry sky of the Yangshan world. Soon after, a huge star exuding vitality appeared in front of Li Zan. In the chat group, Howard Stark said stunned. What did I see? It seems that someone is flying around outside the planet. Li Zan replied. It is the Yuan magnetic battle armor that is rich in thieves. After people who practice martial arts wear it, they can fly to the sky and cross the universe in starry sky. Howard Stark asked curiously. Which one is stronger than the steel armor made by Tony? Li Zan. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. The steel armor made by Tony is more universal, even ordinary people without the slightest strength can wear it and use it. But the martial arts armor in the Yangshan world is not enough, it is powerful. The armor must have a strong warrior to drive.
Li Zan. If the strongest armor in this world is put on by the right person, Tony will not have the slightest resistance. However, if it is Tony in the parallel world, he has the strength to compete with it. Howard Stark came to be interested. Tony of the parallel world made a particularly powerful armor? Li Zan. Yes, in a certain parallel world, Tony Stark made an armor that can hold 6 infinity stones. And it doesn't have a powerful backlash like the infinity gloves. Wearing it can place 6 infinity stones to your heart's content. The power of the infinity stones. And that Marvel Universe is much stronger than your Marvel Universe, which means that the 6 infinity stones are much more tyrannical than the infinity stones in your universe. Howard Stark said enthusiastically. A battle that can hold 6 infinity stones? It sounds very interesting. Li Zan. You can try it out, and I'll take the infinity stones to test after the finished product. Mutant Black Emperor. What kind of strength are these people wearing martial arts armor? I feel they're very dangerous. Li Zan. The weakest are the top martial saints, and they are even more tyrannical when they put on matching armor. If you send Thor without the power of awakening, you may not be able to beat them all. In other words, they're still very similar to Thor in some aspects. Similar. Howard Stark. Which aspect? Li Zan. Flying. People who practice martial arts don't have the ability to fly and escape before they become the pinnacle of immortals. They can fly because of their weapons. It just so happens that Thor can't fly. He can fly because of his weapons. It's his weapon. Outside world. After Li Zan approached Pangsing, he attracted the attention of the patrolling warriors around Pangsing. As if they had practiced thousands of times, these Pan Xing warriors immediately sent a warning signal to Pan Xing, and at the same time entered a picture scroll. At the same time, the entire chart began to change. A monstrous force of chi and blood shot up from the Pangsing Li is good, the light in the void around Pangsing flickered, and a large array of guardian stars emerged from there. In the chat group, Zheng Qi couldn't help but ask, Master Group Owner, what the hell is going on? Zheng Qizi couldn't help the consternation in his heart, and couldn't help asking, is Pan Xing's strength so powerful? Li Zan said indifferently. This is the first powerhouse in ancient times, Emperor Chongsheng and his apprentice. The first holy emperor in ancient times, Pan, the land of dreams that the two of them jointly created. How could it be weak and disturbing? Dongfang Gaiyu keenly noticed a word. The land of dreams? Li Zan. Yeah, both Emperor Chongsheng and Sheng Wangpang want to guide the humanity of the Yangshen world, but they can't do it. At least in the Daqing world, they can't do it. Uchiha Madara wondered. They are so strong, how can they not do it? Li Zan. Although they are all well-known masters in the Daqing world, at that time in the Daqing world, there were countless strong men of the Sun God and strong men of shattering the vacuum. If nothing else, the creation of Taoist and Tai is not easy to mess with. Li Zan. Both of them have both the Yang God and the shattering vacuum, and they both have the king of divine artifacts. Although their strength is not comparable to that of the Emperor Chongsheng, the Emperor Chongsheng can't kill them either. Uchiha Madara. So it is. So they went to the outer sky and found a planet where no one was bothered to experiment with their ideas. Li Zan. That's right. They practice their ideas here, and want to build this place into an ideal country. They plan to wait for the development of this place, and use the king of the artifact, the immortal monument, which has been thoroughly refined, to turn the profit. People from Xingxing have been brought to Daqing world. Use Panxing's huge population to assimilate the residents of Daqing world and realize the idea of leading humanity. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 280 We Surrender. Looking at the dense formations outside Panxing, Zheng Qi couldn't help but complain. Panxing's defensive formations are too many, right? Even the palace of Daqing world doesn't have so many guardian formations. Li Zan said with a smile. The reason is very simple. Emperor Chongsheng is the most grand master of alchemy and formation in the world of the Sun God. The king of artifacts he built, the monument of immortality, is an artifact composed of countless formations and runes. Xiao Zan. These formations give me a very dangerous feeling, even I don't have the ability to forcibly invade Panxing. Li Zan. Tianwei living environment is very harsh, and every living star has the descendants of the ancient demons living on it. The great Emperor Changsheng and the Holy Emperor Pan have high hopes for Panxing, and naturally they must give it enough protection measures. Outside world. After the endless formation was activated, stone platforms flashing with thunder emerged from the disk star. At the same time, terrifying existences exuding powerful auras appeared on the periphery of Panxing. In the chat group, Zheng Qi said stunned, what are those stone platforms? The thunder they released seems to be a thunder that belongs to the world. I can feel the aura of thunder from the thunder. Li Zan. There is no calamity in the thunder on the planet outside the sky, and there is no way for the ghosts who cultivate their souls to survive the calamity. But Panxing is a place where Emperor Changsheng and Pan Huang have high hopes. How can it be on this planet? What if there is no reggae robbery? Zheng Qizi suddenly said. So in order to make Panxing appear Thunder Tribulation Ghost Immortal, Emperor Changsheng and Emperor Pan created those stone platform instruments. Li Zan. Yes. The name of those stone platform instruments is called Tinlight Eye. When there is a strong thunder in Daqing world, Po Kong can absorb the lightning calamity over there, and store it for the ghosts to survive the calamity. Zheng Qizi. Those Thunder Tribulation ghost immortals outside Yingxing all use the Tinlay Terrace to transcend the calamity? I thought they used some method to quietly go to the Great Thousand World to transcend the calamity. Otherwise, why are there so few of them? Li Zan. Although Yingxing has a Tinlay Terrace that can give birth to Thunder Tribulation ghost immortals, these instruments are all in the hands of Master Panxing's big family. Only those children of the family are qualified to cultivate the soul, and ordinary people can only cultivate martial arts. Zheng Qizi. Resource monopoly brought about by power and status. 543. It seems that the ideal world created by Emperor Chongsheng and Emperor Pan is nothing more than this. Li Zan. Do you look down on Panxing? Those on Panxing who are not qualified to cultivate their souls still look down on your great world. There is no emperor on their side, and the people who lead the planet are leaders and ministers elected by the people. They are proud of this, and think that the people of your great world are all uncivilized natives. Zheng Qi said solemnly. The emperor and ministers are elected by the common people? Although this is a good way to listen to the opinions of the people, will this not cause problems? Once the number of human beings increases, the IQ will continue to decline. Zheng Qizi worried and said, are the people of Panxing high in wisdom? If the people's wisdom is not high enough, too much listening to the opinions of the people is self-defeating? Li Zan. Don't worry. Those who are qualified to be leaders and ministers are all the children of the Panxing family. No matter who the people choose, there will be no situation where the incompetent occupies a high position. Zheng Qi said disdainfully. Then they are so proud. Panxing's so-called listening to public opinion is just a guise to fool the people. Howard Tucker. Can't say the same. When people are not smart enough, it is also a very wise thing to divide their choices. Of course, their actions are correct, but their motives are definitely wrong. Outside world. Li Zan looked at the Panxing master who appeared in front of him, and said with a smile. How are you, all Pan-Xings, are you ready for a new era? The plans of the Chongqing Emperor and the Holy Emperor Pan are a thing of the past. Are you ready for a new future? The leader of Panxing snorted coldly and asked, what do you mean? If it weren't for the fear of Li Zan's strength, the masters of Panxing would have rushed forward and won Li Zan on the spot. Li Zan said indifferently, it's no fun, I'm here to announce something to you, and I'll take over your central world. Are you obediently cooperating or resisting? As soon as the words fell, a grumpy minister on Panxing's side said angrily, you brazen guy, go to hell. The magic circle outside Panxing flashed, and a group of Panxing masters joined forces to attack, and the powerful forces gathered into a beam of infuriating light, which bombarded Li Zan. Moral insane. A powerful qi and blood rose up on Panxing, which was the joint force of tens of billions of people on Panxing. The magic array prepared by Emperor Changsheng and Emperor Ying for Panxing can mobilize the power of every human on Panxing. This huge amount of qi and blood rushed into the formation, greatly enhancing the power of moral infuriating qi, multiplying the imposing manner of Emperor Changsheng's ultimate move, and bursting out the formidable power of the Star Destroyer. Moral. Really. Nice stuff. It's a pity that you are too weak to use this thing. Li Zan sneered and stretched out his palm, grabbed the beam of infuriating light in front of him lightly, and the powerful force directly shattered the beam of light. It's my turn. One move smashed the joint attack of Panxing. Li Zan swung his palm towards Panxing, and the terrifying high-temperature flame spurted out of his palm, condensing a huge flame hand that was enough to crush the stars. Grabbed the path towards Panxing. Join us. The leader of Panxing shouted angrily, and a huge thought appeared on the top of his head. It was the soul crystallization of the Sun God powerhouse. It was the strongest weapon left by the Holy Emperor Pan to Panxing, and it was also the symbol of the leader of Panxing. The Yangshan thought was powerful, and the 9 Tinlay platforms communicated with each other, causing extremely terrifying fluctuations. The Yangshan thought and the 9 heavenly thunder hands actually burst out with an aura that only the king of divine items has. On the disk star is another force of qi and blood rising into the sky, turning into the energy of the formation around the disk star, releasing powerful energy to form a barrier, trying to resist the flame that flew from a distance and was enough to master the stars. Big hand. Boom. The big flame hand and the power released by Panxing collided with each other. The Panxing masters vomited blood and flew upside down, and there were dense cracks in the leader's sun god thought, which looked shocking. The 9 Tinlay platforms were also in a state of being scrapped, and most of the formation outside the disk star was melted by the high temperature flames. Before Panxing's masters could recover from the excitement of blocking the attack, Li Zan stepped out in front of them. Give you one more chance, survive or perish. Standing in front of the Panxing masters, Li Zan burst out with a terrifying aura that made them feel hopeless, which directly disintegrated their belief in stubborn resistance. We. Drop. After the leader of Panxing said this sentence, it seemed that the whole person's energy and spirit had been taken away, as if he had aged hundreds of years, and he suddenly turned from middle age to old age. Very good. Li Zan nodded with satisfaction, and with a big hand, he took away the super magical instruments such as the Tianlitai and the Sun God thought of the Panxing powerhouses and put them into his own king of artifacts. The Panxing powerhouses felt a pain in their hearts, but they did not resist. Disarming the losers was what every victor would do. Seeing this, Li Zan smiled with relief, and said to the powerful Pan Xing, "Give me the martial arts practice method left by Pan Huang, and then take me to the place where the immortal king is suppressed. I will help you in the crisis facing Pan Xing." Fixed.
In the chat group, Zheng Qi questioned, "Isn't it? Pan Xing's strength BFDH is so strong, they will also face a crisis. With the strength they show, if they come to the Great Thousand World, they will put the sun and the moon on them. It's no use calling down a master. The power that Dakion World has now is completely no match for Pan Xing."
Li Zan. Pan Xing's crisis comes from itself, not from external enemies. Although Pan Xing's ruling institutions are not perfect, they have also solved the problems that plagued ordinary people in the world, and almost all natural and man-made disasters have been eliminated. Li Zan. In the absence of natural and man-made disasters, the population of Pan Xing has grown wildly to the point where Pan Xing can't bear it. If Ying Xing had not been plundering and expanding, the population problem alone would have killed Pan Xing. Li Zan. Now the planet of life in the outer sky has been almost occupied by thieves. If Pan Xing doesn't want to perish because of civil strife, he must immigrate to the world. Howard Stark. Using war to plunder more resources, while reducing the population that has become a burden on itself. This is not a wise choice, because this choice has an end. Howard Stark. If the population grows uncontrollably, sooner or later, it will grow to the point where even the world can't bear it. What will happen then? The places that can be invaded and expanded will be occupied sooner or later. Howard Stark. You must take measures in advance, otherwise the crisis that Thanos has been worried about will appear in this world sooner or later. The powerful forces that collapse due to resource problems and population problems are not uncommon in the heavens and the world. Li Zan. Don't worry, I will arrange it. Realizing that the powerhouses in the central world were not sincerely surrendering to him, on the contrary, some people thought of pretending to be a snake with him, and backstabbed him when they had the strength. After thinking about it, Li Zan quietly used the illusion of pure lotus fire on them, which made them extinguish their ambitions. Not long after, a huge picture appeared in front of Li Zan, and on the picture was the figure of a stalwart man. The painters in the world of the sun god have special abilities, and the things they draw can give people a three-dimensional feeling. In the chat group, Zheng Qizi looked at the three-dimensional figure of the stalwart man through Li Zan, and couldn't help but speak in the chat group. Is it the acupuncture points of the whole body that need to be opened for martial arts training? Li Zan. That's right, and it's the complete version. This stalwart man is the first emperor of ancient times, Pan, who left a complete method of martial arts cultivation for the ideal world he created. Zheng Qi sighed. No wonder this man gives me a kind feeling, and only the ancient sage emperor can have this kind of impartiality and selfless character. Suddenly, Zheng Qi frowned and said, "Wait, the number of these acupoints is wrong, right? 99 less." Li Zan. Haven't you seen the map behind Pan Huang? The mystery of the last 99 acupoints is in it. Xiao Zan. Isn't that map the map of Tianzhou in the Middle Earth of the Great Thousand World? I remember seeing this map in the palace.
Zheng Qizi. Yes, this is the map of the Middle Earth and Tianzhou. This is also the map of the orthodox human race established by the Holy Emperor Pan, and it has not changed for 10,000 years. I thought that the map on Pan Huang was for publicity. His achievements, it seems that I think too much. Dongfang Gaiyu. Zheng Qizi, have you realized anything? Zheng Qizi. Not at all. Can the Holy Emperor Pan record the secrets of the last 99 acupoints? He hid the secrets of the last 99 holes in the map to test the comprehension ability of future generations. Li Zan. Wrong answer. The mystery of the last 99 acupoints is difficult to express through language and acupoints. Unlike other acupoints, the last 99 acupoints need to be obtained from the outside world. Zheng Qizi. Get it from the outside world. Li Zan. Yes, condense the 99 points with its own essence, and then merge with the 99 space nodes in the Middle Earth and Tianzhou. When they absorb the power of enough space, they will merge with the land of the Great Thousand World. After resonating, take them back into the body and turn them into 99 acupoints.
Zheng Qizi. It sounds difficult, it's better to comprehend this kind of thing yourself, but it's kind of troublesome for others to say it. Li Zan. That's right, even if others say it, it's useless. 99 space nodes need to be telepathically sensed. Dongfang Lonely Moon. Master, are you going to collect the last immortal monument? Li Zan. And the head of the 5 god-tier kings who were suppressed there, the immortal god king, this is also a good baby. Xiao Zan asked curiously, how much can it improve Xiao Chen? Li Zan. What a pity. The immortal god king is my goal and cannot be used by Xiao Chen. Dad. The master of the group disdains the other 4 god kings, but instead is determined to win the immortal god king. Is there a big gap between them? Li Zan. Of course. The immortal god king is the king of demon gods, and his flesh and blood are fundamentally different from other demon gods. Let's say that after refining the immortal god king's flesh and blood, I can smash the vacuum more easily. Xiao Zan. It's no wonder that the group leader has not cultivated the martial arts of the Yangshen world for a long time. It turned out to be the idea of the immortal god king.
Li Zan. That's right.
Martial arts in the Yangshan world are very troublesome to practice. I have to wait until everything is ready before practicing. A complete cultivation method and the flesh and blood of the immortal God King are indispensable. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.